we got 4 channels going.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that.
Mm-hmm. Might have to turn on Damien's
Yeah.
computer.
Yep.
It's funny. I can go through and give your guys' channel a like, though. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
And then
this
Landon,
works.
Landon and a couple people that just popped in. This is a multi-channel. This is on. You getting it on your channel too, Dylan?
Yeah, I started it. I don't know if it's working.
Oh,
let's
let's
take
see
a
if
look.
Dylan is working.
Let me pop
Hey,
up.
Where's your face?
I'm right here.
Oh yeah, Levi's. Yep. We're
It
on.
worked?
We're on 4 channels. Yeah.
Hey, Brooke.
Hey.
Hey,
Yeah.
Brooke, you're on 4. You're on 4 people's channels right now.
Yep. Levi's live, Art's live, Jared. Yep. Everybody's live.
Well,
That's
she's
live.
usually on Dylan's channel, so she's used to that.
Yeah.
So Levi, you have to turn your collar down. You look like a fresh dressed.
So everybody that isn't subscribed to Levi, make sure you
There you go. Put the,
Well, yeah.
there
A
you
greaser
go.
now.
Subscribe to these guys
Yeah.
over here.
These guys. Yeah.
These guys. All these guys.
Yeah. But what's the nice part is hopefully we get all the combined hours because now there's 36 people in the chat.
Holy crap.
Nice.
Yeah. So the goal is
Right there.
we're gonna work this out, make it work. I want to do a tour. We get get 4 channels in here, and you get 400 people on at once. It'd be mayhem, but
It would be mayhem, but
I'm glad it's your
It's always-
nightmare.
if I got to pay StreamYard every month, it better be mayhem.
it better be worth it.
Hey, free content.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I was
So all
curious
when
about
you
it
post,
'cause-
it shows up. It shows up in the blended chat on my page.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
We
if
can
it's-
see everybody's chat through StreamYard.
Yeah, I can see everybody's. Yeah.
Oh, you can?
Looking
Oh,
at-
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, okay,
Comment
cool.
on that.
Everybody.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can see it, but if they're just like on your Jason channel, they just see the chat from your channel, I think. So that's what I'm trying to get everybody in here.
Who's our mods on here? We got Don.
I don't have any mods on. You might have mods on
Okay.
yours.
I had Don. That's yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any mods on. So if it gets out of hand, I may have to.
I don't have a mod. I'm too small of a channel.
All right.
Oh, you're never too
And then-
small.
It does.
I had a
Yeah.
mod when my channel was your size.
That's
Don was
cool.
my mod.
I like that.
Don was the mod. Or Don.
Scarlet for
Hey,
Akuda.
Scarlett, what's up?
Let's the crazy begin. Yes, it's a multi-channel, 4 channels all at once, going to 4 different places in the universe all at once.
Don't you got homework?
Yeah, but this is
No, she doesn't have. She has to watch. She chatted in. She doesn't have to do anything else.
So, Turbo Tom, you are now a mod on my stream. So, congratulations. You made big
Oh,
time.
okay.
He's always
Hey,
here.
Tom.
He's a good
Yeah.
candidate.
Wrench me unfinished project. If I knew how.
Wrench you? It's a new one.
That's to make him a mod.
Oh.
I don't know how you do that.
You gotta go to your
Unfinished.
actual live, and then there's a little
Yeah,
button next to
and
your
then-
name. Look at it.
They have to comment on your live, and then you click the 3 little dots, and then whoop,
Hmm.
they have to comment on your live.
Interesting.
Oh, there you go.
You're right. Don.
This comment is on a guest. Oh, this comment is on a guest destination. So okay.
Oh, that's cool.
So what you'd have to do is
It's on
unfinished
somebody
project. Got to
else's.
go over to my channel and make a comment, I guess, and then we'll make him on.
Yep, that's all you gotta do, brother.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was that easy.
I'm a mod on 1 channel, my brothers. That's it.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense.
No, actually, no. I think I'm a mod on ASOs also, but
hmm
Put something behind
he
it.
hasn't been on much. I hope he's okay.
Yeah, y'all got green screens. I'm here with a gray wall.
JD, that's why I tried to find a picture of the truck, but
This is just
Yeah.
background, so that's
Yeah,
why it looked like my
you
head
click
on
on
fire at certain angles.
Setting button in StreamYard at the bottom, and then go to virtual background and just pick whatever you want.
Oh.
So, yeah, so whatever picture you want, that make sure Brooke knows what's on your computer before you go in looking at your pictures.
Uh-oh.
A bunch of garbage cars and trucks.
Yeah.
Oh, I
That's
got it.
I don't really have anything. Oh, maybe I do.
So how was everybody's turkey day?
Oh, dude,
It was good till the day after.
I ate so much food.
We didn't do our
Friday was
Thanksgiving
the
until
only day
Friday.
I got real potatoes because
So,
nobody knows
okay.
how to make real potatoes.
There you go.
I
That didn't work.
Okay,
I made real potatoes, and I learned a trick about mashed potatoes.
What's
You
that?
don't peel them, you don't cut them, you boil them whole. And then you take one of your cooling racks for your cookies, the mesh ones, you put it on top of a bowl, you cut the potato in half and just go, and then peel the skin off. They're already cut in the bowl. Works freaking perfect.
There you
So
go.
I like mashed potatoes, as you can tell. I mean,
yeah,
He likes instant ones.
You,
I mean,
I was raised on instant ones, dude.
Ooh.
I
Instant
clicked on the
ones is-
3 buttons and all I got is put user in timeout and ban user, which we don't want to do.
Well,
I think make one
instants
mod.
are nice because they take like 30 seconds.
Yeah, true. They make microwave ones now that are, yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
anything worth
Let
doing.
me
you know?
see, John.
You can't wait for the 5 minutes for baked potato in the microwave.
no.
Lazy bums.
Usually our dinners consist of pizza and chicken. So
But
Oh, okay.
if I'm
Saturday
cooking,
night we cooked and we had steak, baked mac and cheese, and mashed potatoes.
which was very good.
Yeah, JB, if you weren't busy working, you could put your red truck up on here too, and it would be, and it's a full moon, so it's full moon red truck.
Yeah, the full moon.
Need to be shorter. They can't see my car. I wonder if I
We
can
can see
adjust
it.
that.
You just can't see the front wheel coming off the ground.
That's what I want. That's the whole picture.
Yeah, unfinished gang's all here. One Eyed Cat, Scarlet, finished
Oh,
project,
look, there's Pearl.
dog, JB. Mohawk popped in. Hello, sir. He's
The best screen.
one of on the link channels. Turbo Tom.
Really?
And what? Nobody made pie, Tom. What kind of Thanksgiving are you going to?
You gotta have pie.
I didn't really
I get rid of all your family. Buy that cat
Rato.
and get some pie.
I gave that
Okay,
cat a
mean.
bath.
You
You're
did?
brave.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. That cat we got it. You can't even touch this cat. That's the most antisocial cat in the world.
She did absolutely amazing. Better than I thought she would. I come out
Really?
unharmed.
And Colleen's on Damien's computer. Okay.
To
Hey,
tell me
bravo.
what she should probably tell you about the straight jacket she had to put her in.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I had a straight jacket on her. However, she come right out of it.
Brian's here. What's up, Brian?
I got
Pie.
something worse than no pie,
It's a
though.
very good.
Worse than no pie. My buddy said his girlfriend's family had no deviled eggs and no stuffing.
I
What?
don't like stuffing. I could do
Hey,
without that.
that's a good Thanksgiving for me.
Nah, you deviled eggs.
Nah,
all
bro.
day.
I gotta have
Yeah.
deviled eggs.
My sister-in-law makes the best deviled eggs. So yeah, that's,
Well, it's
that's
not-
her job.
it's not the
Deviled
food.
eggs.
It's not the food; it's the smell after the food
I
Yes.
mean,
from the family members.
you ain't wrong.
They all. I mean, turkey makes you fart. So
We
Oh.
didn't have turkey at our one.
Yeah.
First
We
responders.
had baked chicken.
So
My
we
cat.
we ordered turkeys to be just pre-cooked, like they
They
cook
were
them for
already
you
done.
and you
like-
pick them up. They get there an hour before Thanksgiving. They're
and they have
frozen.
3 frozen turkeys ready for you at 10
Who
a.m.
pays $160?
$60.
Was it 60?
$160.
Okay, yeah, for 3 turkeys to be cooked and prepared, and we got 3 frozen turkeys. I
I'll
mean,
get your money back.
yeah, I don't know how that got miscommunicated or what. It was Kroger.
Okay. Oh, Barrows is here. So good. Barrows got a question. Since apparently you've done this before, we're doing a multi-channel. You're watching 4 different people's channels right now.
Yeah.
Now, who is it? Someone said I think it was Tom said you did this before. How did that work out for you? So far as hours and who gets the views and all that kind of stuff. Or we could just wait till tomorrow and find out. But since you've done it,
Figured out.
it worked out for you. Yeah.
Shaving a cat?
That's a few comments behind, but
Yes. Yeah. What are you shaving, Don? And yeah, that's why it was a struggle.
Why on earth would you shave a cat?
What kind of where we going here? Yeah. It's
I like-
right. It's a Monday. Yeah.
that word.
Mega Monday. with four channels doing the same thing at the same time, so it's working out pretty good.
Kind of interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
See, Brian, you need to jump in here on your shit break, and you'll get some watch hours.
Hopefully.
yeah,
Oh,
Yeah,
shit,
Slant Daily Garage is here.
yeah.
What up,
Uh-oh.
buddy?
Shane?
What's his name? Shane. Right.
Oh, Shane from Slant Daily Garage, what's
A
up?
place where I can listen. Oh,
Yeah, Shane, what we're
Ah.
doing here is do a new StreamYard thing where you can people pop in and get streamed on their channel too. So we have 4 channels doing the same live at all the same time. So you have the sound on mute, Ada in a place where I can't listen. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think Brian is correct. I can't see all the comments on my.
No, I'm trying to keep up with them, but
Here.
they're flying in like crazy.
They're going fast. Yes.
There's a lot of people.
See him
in
on
there.
Tim Winter's here.
StreamYard
What's up,
side.
buddy?
I can see every chat that comes in. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
StreamYard, you can.
No
If you're
problem.
over here on the YouTube side, it's only what's on my channel.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. You gotta come
Like
over to
JB's on mine, Mohawk's on mine, Brian's on
Mhm.
mine, Don's
Mm-hmm.
on mine.
Yeah, I guess to
Gross.
kind of clear up the confusion, you could have someone be the host, and that's the channel they would
Yeah, you can see them all, right?
comment
Yeah.
on, I guess.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, this is what we're trying. We're trying to get B hours, Ken hours, Jason hours, you hours. So
I need a lot.
yeah, if you want to be Grand Poobah, then it kind of takes the fun out of it. So this is, I think,
Yeah.
enjoy the chaos.
Don't be a party pooper.
So we
The
got
host gets the most, and the
17
host
on,
you can see more of the chat, but it gets
17 on
confusing for
Doc's,
everyone else because chat's
7
going.
on Ken's,
Okay.
13 on mine.
Yeah, there's 37 people in the chat right now.
Yeah.
You got
See,
700.
See, you can see all of it, Doc, because you're the host.
Yeah, and
You
it's
can see everything. That's
it's called the
pretty cool.
multiverse. Yep, that's right, Landon.
What is the Ranger versus Camaros? Well,
Ranger- yeah.
that's supposed to be my. I have a red truck, S10 also. So, but I couldn't find a picture of it, so I just
Mm,
put that picture up there. So,
Mini truckers unite, man.
yeah, Glenn.
Right.
Yeah, Glenn Nickerson. Yep, Rangers versus Camaros. Well, versus
let me see if I can.
Wheelie making Lagunas.
That. Or
Yeah.
That.
Where are my comments showing up at? Depends which channel you're on, Ron. It just says you're linked, so you're either on
it's not on mine.
on Ken's.
Ron's
or
on my
Jason's.
channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on mine.
Okay.
So when you go to private chat, do you see anything? Because mine has nothing. Even
I-
when she commented.
No, the only
No,
private
there's
chat
no-
I got was earlier from Ken, but I
Yeah.
have nothing now. Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that's literally just for us to talk in. Like,
that's for
Oh,
all
That's
of
it's
us
just
that are on here
yeah.
right now. Like we
I
can
got
send
you.
a message. Like,
Yeah, if you're babbling, I could, quietly say "shut the fuck up," or,
yeah.
I don't see that message yet.
Yeah, everyone in StreamYard should be able to see all the chat. Yes. But like I said, we're trying this out first. Maybe there's a setting for it we missed, or maybe it's just something I got to complain to StreamYard about.
Now you
We'll
should be
try
able to
that.
see one, Dylan.
Yeah, but first responder, what size turbos you guys running?
Lucky.
Not large enough.
Man, what you
Ken?
doing?
I had a GT45, which is like baby's first. Everybody should start off with a GT45. Everybody. But then right now I got a 7875, an eBay 7875.
Same
which is way
thing.
better. Spools up way faster, makes a hell of a lot more power. Like just it's all right.
And it's half the size.
I forgot
yeah, it's way smaller.
I got her bibs.
For me, baby.
I just have a Borg Warner
I
S480.
should be like him.
Yeah.
I just like that.
Jason doesn't have a turbo because he wanted to be a girl with his
Ricky's
S.
in going sledding.
So Barrow's has a
Yeah. Hey. Santa's. I told Santa what I wanted this year. All right.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what you can do, Jason? If Santa comes through, just put your computer back in that little box and send it back.
Yeah, I'll actually want. Yeah.
It'll come back with a turbo. too.
Hey, I know where to send it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jason.
Yeah, I was
okay.
actually looking at
Like
it.
Jason is getting all the watch hours for everyone, but that's on his side, and Doc is getting them for everyone's combined. Well,
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
So I have
No.
12.
There's 36 in total.
and Ken's got 8. So yeah. So you
I
can
think
see the
Dr. Friend,
total.
the crawler misled you about the front diff. He used a high point Dana 44, then flipped it upside down.
So whoever needs the most hours, how many is Dylan get?
What? I don't know.
Who has the most? Whoever needs the most hours needs to be the host. Pretty much is what we're getting.
Well,
at.
but to be the host, you need to pay up StreamYard.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not going to do that because I'm a cheap ass. So
Well, I am too. That's why I'm experimenting with this for a month and see,
yeah, right.
see if it's worth
See
it.
if it's worth it or not.
But it's a lot of fun. So
No,
It is. It is.
yeah,
You could have like 10 in there, can't you? when
yeah.
you
I can have 10 people in there. Let me drop that back in there. I can only have like 3 people sponsor their channel, but I can have 10 people in the chat.
I just
Okay,
like
nice.
that they dropped it to 3,000 instead of 4,000.
Yeah,
Oh, they did drop it. Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
yeah. Only the host can highlight the chat though. Yeah.
I remember when you used to have 1,000 subscribers before you could go live. That was my.
Yeah. Before you could even do a posting or anything. Yeah, we were in jail. Yeah,
Now it's like what 50.
yeah,
Something.
yeah. Show up and post a short. Hey, you're monetized. Yeah.
Hey, yeah, good. Yeah.
Shane says, "What's up, Hell Garage?" So, Ken, you're being quiet.
Am I?
Yes, you're being quiet. Get some Mountain Dew in you, and
Well, I mean, I don't know. We can talk about Jason and Levi. Oh,
what's happening.
Hey,
Hey, what's going on, man? Howdy, everybody.
Good. And this
How
is
you doing, sir?
and what we're doing. Tony upgraded StreamYard, so it's being broadcast on my channel, Ken's channel, Jason's channel, and Dylan's
Oh,
channel.
wow. Well,
And then-
hi, everybody on everybody else's channel.
And then
Yeah.
from yesterday, Tony, when Ari was talking about the guy who put the LS head on the 300, that's Ken in the middle up there.
hi.
Oh, you're the guy who's doing the LS. We were just talking about that last night.
That's me. Yeah.
I was telling him that reminds me so much of like the 70s comp eliminator because there were guys doing that all over, all mixing and matching components like that. A lot of people running inline 6s. It's very cool. Have it running yet?
Well, it's mechanically sound, so it turns over. The valve train moves up and down. Everything on that part is good. Now it's just wiring it up and getting it fuel and spark and making it run.
What are you doing for water circulation?
So so basically the water jackets lined up for the most part to the 300 block on the LS head. So
Okay.
that was good. I just I cut a hole in the front of one of the head, and I just put a thermostat in it, so it should flow up and come out the front. And
So, all right. So I got a question now. So you put this on a Ford block, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And the Ford is 4 bolts per cylinder?
Yep.
The LS is 5.
Well, it's 5, but one of the perimeter bolts, it really, and there's 2 versions of it too. So the 5 bolts are on the later stuff, like the LS9, the LS7. They had a newer designed head that had an extra bolt. The truck stuff only has 4 main bolts though. So
Really? It's not the same pattern as as a small block Chevy?
it's
No,
like they changed it a little bit. Yeah.
Mhm.
Really?
And the inner bolts are really small. They're only like a little
Right.
8mm
Yeah.
bolt.
And
Yeah, just to pinch the side of the block.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
When are you going to have it running? And
Well, I'm hoping by
wait,
the year.
why don't I have a red? Ged, keep talking. I'll,
Yeah, why don't you have a red car in the background?
Yeah, we have to
Tony?
have a red car behind us for some reason. or another.
Preferably it's a red Ford Ranger, but we don't,
let me see if I can draw.
you get a red
something
car
up.
wagon or something. Yeah,
Yeah, I got a red pencil.
you get your crayons out.
I'm going to draw a car.
You got the
It's
Sharpie.
not
and
going to be a good car. Oh shit, this thing's barely working. Okay.
And how many?
Wow.
10.
This is terrible, guys. I came completely unprepared tonight.
Well, mine was supposed to be a red truck like everybody else's, but I didn't have a picture of the red truck, so I just found this picture on like my Facebook or stuff that popped it up there.
Oh, that's the one I got.
Perfect.
Nice.
Yeah.
Scribbly,
I
but
like it.
at least I can belong now.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, you could. Yeah, Kathy's there. She could hold it up behind you.
Yeah, Cat. She can draw much
It's like, I don't have time for that crap.
I'm sorry. So what is it going in?
Well, I have it's an '84 Fox body
Okay.
that I was considering putting it in. Yeah,
Nice.
I thought that would only be fair. You know, forward and forward, right?
Well, they came with inline sixes, didn't they?
They did. They had
79,
the
80.
smaller one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had the shorter block inline 6, so that one's going to be maybe protruding a hair.
Oh, you don't know
Maybe
hood. Hood's are for the
No,
white
they-
man. We don't need that stuff.
The 300s fit in them. I put a 300 in one before. So yeah.
Oh, they fit in there. Yeah, you can get them in.
It's just Ken's that's going to have a little bit different head on it than what.
Yeah. Yeah. It might
It's
run.
probably a lower head than that big 300 head. Yeah.
Yeah, it might be.
Oh yeah, the valve cover's a lot shorter. Yeah.
So what were you guys talking about before I dropped in?
We were just trying to figure out this whole live
This whole
stream
multiverse thing that we
combo.
started tonight.
So all of you guys are broadcasting this on your own channels?
Yes.
Yeah,
That's cool. That's cool. I didn't know you could do that.
It's a new StreamYard thing.
we didn't either.
My Ted asked, I paid up for the month to try this. So before you could have like 6 people. Now I can have 10 people on screen and broadcast mine plus 3 other channels.
Can we get like 3 more on here?
Well, yeah, I put the link up, and you know,
Doc's going to make us send him all $5 this month for the.
yeah,
Well, I'll kick in.
Right.
yeah, put the link. I mean, Shane Polito is in here. Tavo is, Tavo
Shane
can't
is here?
have a
And
computer.
Tavo's all right. Well, then we're a good company. Well,
Yeah.
why didn't Shane get on here? Shane, come on here, Shane.
I think he said he was
He was somewhere where he couldn't. Yeah, he had to.
Yeah,
Yeah, he couldn't hear it.
What about Kiwi?
Haven't seen Kiwi.
I've seen him.
Was Kiwi in here?
I don't think so.
See, there's the link, folks.
So you're the guy who's doing the inline LS. That's cool. And I'm sorry, but I don't know who you guys are.
Well,
Jason from Jason's Garage. He's
Jason's Garage.
a buddy of mine. He's building a LSS 10 that I programmed his computer for.
Okay.
And then
we made it. Doc made we switched it to carburetor, but he made the factory fuel injection ECM run the engine without the carburetor. So it's pretty interesting.
Is that your 69 behind you?
No.
Oh. It's
That's
beautiful.
just a picture I put up there. I'm not artistic like you.
That's really bad.
And
It's
this is
really I have like an old garage background in here, but I usually have I probably should just.
All right, Dylan. Tell him about your build, man.
Yeah, Dylan's is cool.
You're Dylan, Mr. Slow?
yeah, Mr. Slow.
Is that your car?
Yeah,
That's bitching. That's beautiful.
thank you.
What is it?
It's a
I'm just trying to know.
1975 Laguna, Chevy
Yeah.
Laguna.
that pulls the wheels, and it's how much weight?
It's 4,000.
Yeah, I was going to say the doors on that car weigh more than like.
It's
My
got
truck
power
does,
windows.
yeah.
It would have had power locks, but I decided not to.
What's in it?
It's a LS 5.3. Stop.
Turbocharged or
Yeah, it's got a S480 on it from
Okay.
Ford Warner.
that's bitching, man. That's nice. She leaves like that every time.
When I put the weight in the right spot, it's still stock suspension. So without the weight, it doesn't do that. But
What kind of 60s are you getting out of it?
we've been down into the 1.4s.
You're kidding. With the stock suspension?
Yeah.
You didn't drop the upper arms at all?
Nope.
Oh wow,
Yeah, it's nasty.
that's drastic.
For a
That's
heavy
really,
car.
that's really impressive.
Meat girl.
Hopefully this winter with the motor I'm building now, I'd like to be in the 8s.
Nice.
Now the track that he runs at, the starting line is nasty. Like
That's
It'll
Edgewater
take your
there.
shoes
Yeah.
yeah, that's Cincinnati. That's bad.
Yeah, but
They-
think about what's in that picture now, right? Because it has literally a backward suspension, and
Yes.
look at how it's working. So that's like a ridiculous amount of power, and you're laying it in exactly perfectly because that's if you asked me if that was possible, I would have said no. No, seriously.
And it's a tank too.
I know those rear suspensions. I worked with those back in the 80s and shit. So I
Mhm.
know the difficulty involved in that.
The only thing it doesn't have stock is we got double adjustable coilovers on the rear,
Okay.
just to help.
Nice deal. So, what else is going on?
What else? We were just, I don't know.
Yeah.
Before I was just trying to keep up with all the people coming in the chat, and because
We were just
not everyone
boggled
could
with
see
all
everyone
the-
else's chat
Yeah.
because it's all divided into four
Yeah.
different channels. So I was keeping up with,
Oh, okay. I got the chat now.
yeah, with all the chat because everyone from all the four channels they all come on to my
Okay.
vast, onto the StreamYard screen. So I'm just making sure that everybody that's popping in is getting their names up and stuff like that, and questions and comments and
Oh yeah. Okay. So we
Yeah.
got arrows.
Cloud9, yeah.
yeah.
I was gonna say he got starstruck. He like got real quiet when Tony popped in.
Got all googly eyed.
No,
I was reading that. What happened?
we're in the room, or I say in the room, in the live stream with someone that's got way more subscribers than I do.
Who's that?
Got way more subscribers than all of us put together. So
Yeah, probably. Probably.
But I started right where you guys are, so just give it a couple of years
Exactly,
and you'll be where I am. I mean,
yeah.
And Landon popped in.
what's happening, man? Nice T-bird. Only it's not red.
Yeah,
Hey, can you
Yeah,
put
I
a
took-
red
I
car
took the red
behind you
car.
so that
yeah, tint it red for the background. Yeah.
We broke the red car curse. I took it down.
my,
Oh, okay.
I got
Mine's
my
technically
silver
orange,
drawing
so I don't know
Mr.
if that
Turtle on the
counts.
back of a matchbook. You know? One A cat. I ran the 5-barrel road toad 60, giving it a fresh motor and 8 barrels for the No Name Nationals 24. What did it go? How did it run with that 5? Have you guys seen the setup he has?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the 4-barrel with the 1 barrel in the back. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
crazy.
cool. So
But, I
cool.
mean, there's no reason why it wouldn't work.
It works well.
Yeah.
He's getting a transmission built by Cope too, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
He is.
Yeah.
John and John. Yeah.
That should be a mean machine then.
I have that same intake manifold on my 68 that's in the garage, and that engine was, and you look at that intake manifold and it's a tragedy. You know what I mean? It's just like it's super low. It has like no real plenum. It has dividers and shit like that. And I had that engine, and my friend had a tube chassis Daytona, and he ran it up at the Mopar Nationals up in Columbus, and went a 1077 with it, just like, and it was like, it's impossible that engine with that intake manifold would go that quick, but it did.
One I cat, he ran a 1001 eighth, but with traction issues was the problem. He doesn't have a whole lot of tire on the back, and that track was not prepped from what I was told. So
Yeah, we were only getting
Yeah, they were
620
having-
out of it.
They were having issues for sure. Yeah.
with
Does it-
having issues, Dad. Nobody put any damn glue down.
Yeah.
That was with Sykeston. Yeah.
Sykeston, yeah.
Yes.
That's a nice track. That's a nice track.
Very nice.
You got to back up into the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes. It's like old school.
really old school.
Yeah, we were just when you popped in, we're all talking. We were just
I found a picture of my truck.
talking about. Actually, we were talking about Thanksgiving pie, and some people didn't even have pie. Can you imagine?
Oh, geez.
Crazy.
He made so Dr. R came to my place for Thanksgiving. He bought these pastries that he made. This guy makes like incredible pastries.
What?
Really?
Oh yeah, well
Oh,
yeah,
yeah, no lie, man. No lie.
The cat is out of the bag now.
yeah. I can. Yeah, I should probably have a cooking channel versus a car channel because I'm probably better at that. But
I would watch.
Here, I found a picture. of the
oh,
truck.
there you go. Yeah, you got the S.
Hey,
I need
there we
shows.
go.
I don't think I got my red truck. I don't know if I have a picture.
Todd
All right,
was
Todd.
already.
He's in the middle of his Tuesday, so
Take it
Oh,
easy,
yeah.
Sabo.
He's
thanks,
I was
thanks,
trying
man.
to find
Thanks for
that.
coming in.
Opal GT.
Can you send us the
picture.
winning lottery numbers for tomorrow?
Yeah, That's a cigar value, yeah.
That would be much appreciated. From my brothers from down under.
And Tom took he had his Model T there.
Model T, yeah, that was cool.
Like a Model T, or
Yeah,
like
yeah, like
Yes.
4-cylinder stock. Yeah.
Yeah,
It was like his grandpa or his great grandpa
yeah,
bought it.
grandpa,
Right?
right?
Yeah.
I had a friend, Jim Bennett. He died last year, and he had a Model T, and we were going to do a drag test on a dead stock Model T. It was like the tracks hadn't opened yet, and so and he didn't make it to where the season started. But that was our plan, was to take a bone stock Model T over to Buffalo, and make some laps with it.
Tom ran his. I don't remember what
Yeah.
I ran. But
What did it run again? Was it a 17-second eighth? Is that what it was?
Yeah, that's probably about 17, 18
Yeah.
seconds.
Glenn wants me to write free cookies on my truck.
But yeah, Dr. Art is like an incredible. He makes incredible pastries.
But you haven't had Tony. You haven't had any of the cookies or the tarts or there's all kinds of stuff. So
yeah, Patrick's wife makes cookies that are.
I was just
my
going
Oh,
to
they're
say.
great, Jason.
I was
Yeah.
just going to say Patrick's wife and him need to exchange recipes, I guess.
yeah,
He
Tom
makes some mean cookies.
he went through the gates at 38 miles an hour.
There you go.
That's
Three-
rocking. That's rocking. That's like
I mean, was that engine make like 27 horsepower or something?
Yeah, and it's 5-to-1 compression. Yeah, there's 4 cylinders.
yeah, exactly.
Kathy ran Mrs. Landy, which is it's a 64 Dart with a 170, and she brought it up to I don't know, one of the tracks around here, and she ran a 22-second eighth mile with it, which was like
wow.
flat out for that car. You know what I mean? And so she made a couple of runs with it, and it was like it was all right, but then she lined up. She actually went into brackets, right? So she lined up against an Oldsmobile Bravada that was dialed in at like 18 seconds, or whatever. It was like some ridiculous. These are eighth mile times, right? And it was literally the most exciting drag race I've ever seen in my life, because they both.
Because it took so long, you're like, come on.
Oh, it was awesome! It was awesome. They both oozed off the start. Kathy got that out there first. She got about a 4-second lead on it, and then this Bravada starts hunting her down in slow motion. And by the time they got to about 500 feet, I'm standing up like,
Come on.
literally one of the most exciting drag races I've ever seen. And she lost because I misjudged on the dial. So she ended up breaking out. Ron English, you're wearing my T-shirt. Nice.
Doing anything race. That's right.
He's jealous. That's right, Barrows. Yeah, that Paul Hollywood wants to be me. That's what he styles his looks after.
That's bitch amazing.
Just gray and yeah.
I know.
So
what
happened to the guy with the T-Bird? Because I was just going to ask him about that.
Landon, what about tell me
Landon?
about the T-Bird?
Yeah.
That's my 62 T-Bird with a 390.
Stop.
And then I have another one that's a 68. It's the first year 429 Thunderjet.
Does it have that Landau thing on the C-pillar?
My 68 does. My 62 is a hard top.
Yeah, I always like that. I don't know why, but just for some reason, that's the thing that sticks out to me about those cars. That Landau thing on the
With the
C-pillar.
little scribe on the seat pillar and the
Yeah.
wrapper on rear seats. Yeah,
It's just this little bit of extravagance that they threw at it. You know what I'm saying?
finished here.
Yeah. It's not big
Yeah,
enough. Make it
my
bigger.
68. It's fully loaded too. It's got the little reflector in the back window that has fiber optics to tell you your taillights are working.
Yeah, that and
Got
the
the-
Vet had the same thing in about 68,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Was
it has
68 for the Corvette.
Climate control. It has sport bucket seats. It has everything in it.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Let's see, Glenn Nicholson. Years ago, I knew a guy who had a 27 Buick Speedster replica up against a big block Chevelle. They gave him a 17-second head start. Nice. He just showed off by 50 feet. I like stuff like that.
all the
I
oddball stuff.
bracket
Yeah.
raced. I bracket raced for about 20 years, and I won more races and had more fun running the street car than I did my built-up, all-out race car. I mean, honestly, I did.
See, I was born without the ability to bracket race. I have never made it past the first round of anything I ever tried. I just don't have. Some people have it, that eye tree coordination, and I had. So you go back to like 1983, 1984. I used to hang around with Butchie DiLorenzo and Sam Biondo, and Sam Biondo is the guy that literally invented the practice tree.
I met Biondo about 8 months ago. He was a cool old guy, man.
Yeah,
He's-
I haven't seen him in at least 30 years. There you go. Well, I had the original version of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Not in my back pocket.
He made
Go ahead, I'm
that-
sorry.
He made it for his daughter, Krista. She had a Monte SS. I had a Monte SS at the same time, too. But she had a gray Monte SS. And she was a killer with that thing at Englishtown, bracket racing it. But, I mean, try as I could. And I get good lights. I was okay. I was consistent. But put me in the car on the starting line, and I can explain it to you. I just don't have, my focus is like in a different place. You know, it's like an autistic thing. You know what I mean? Where I'm more focused on the car than I am on the tree. I'm more focused on me than I am on, and I can never.
Well, the whole pro tree always screwed me up because I was used to bracket racing. And then one time they decided we're going to do a 5/10 pro tree, no breakout bracket race.
Okay.
So you put a number on it, but I couldn't cut a light for shit on a pro tree because I was used to waiting on everything to come down. You know, I'm like, oh, I gotta go. Forgot, you know. But, you know, those 4/10 tree guys. I mean, they're just.
Yeah.
I
No,
see
it
top
doesn't matter.
cars.
4/10, 5/10. My reaction times
Yeah.
are all over the map. I just
Ugh.
cannot bracket race. I admire people who can do it though. There was this guy Jimmy
Difficult.
Harrington who was a kid that used to hang around that whole group. It was like a cult of bracket racers out of Brooklyn, and Jimmy Harrington, he was a master, and he would run. He had a dragster. He had when he would go to Englishtown. He had a ramp truck. He had a short wheelbase dragster that went on a ramp truck, and he towed a Camaro with that. So it was like a Super Pro Camaro, his dragster, and he would enter the ramp truck, the dragster, and the Camaro all at the same time, and run all three cars, and just hop
three
back to
brackets,
the
yeah.
stage lanes and jump from one to the other. It was really an amazing time. You know, I wish I could have participated with them, but I'm telling you, I was lost. And at the time, I was really more into street racing head and trying to get into the nitro cars.
Yeah, now guys just go and you can double enter one car in one bracket. Well, so they'll get in an electronics bracket, double enter that one, then they'll get in a non-electronics bracket, take the box out, they'll
Right.
have it like on a pigtail, like a trailer pigtail, and you know they're running 4 cars with one car, so they're just running the piss
Hey,
out
man,
of
that's
this
the
thing.
way to do it. That's the way to do it right there.
You got to make rounds.
Mm-hmm.
The guy Sam had a station wagon that he would run, and he would never shut it off. His thing was as long it was a Chevy station wagon with like an old 307. It was slow, right? But it was his bracket car, and he would get to the track and never shut it off. It just sat there and idled, so that it would always be consistent. It was never going to be too hot, too cold. It was just always. So he'd show up, and for as long as he was there, the car was sitting there idling, and
She was running.
she was running.
Nice. I mean, it makes sense.
To be
Oh,
consistent,
Every
yeah,
Oldsmobile
especially
engine I ever had.
when the weather changes. Yeah, the engine
Mhm.
temperature never changes.
Oh,
Who do we got here?
I hope that one day I can own an actual race car. We'll see.
Everything is an actual race car if you want.
every
to.
car you have is a race
Yeah.
car.
Literally.
I mean, yeah, but I'm like a dedicated, not just something I can hop in and.
It's not as much fun as street cars.
Well, it's easy. Just take the license plate off.
There you go.
And now you have a dedicated race car. Honestly,
Oh, I
the
gotta go.
slower cars are a lot more fun.
Later, you're gonna top out.
See you
Yeah, I
later.
gotta go start my stream here in a few.
All right,
Take it
bud.
easy, Landon. We'll
All
see
right.
you over there, bud.
Yeah,
Nice
y'all
meeting you,
later.
Have a
Landon.
good night.
Yeah, take
He's Barrow's cousin, isn't he, Landon? Or am I mixed up?
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, they're related or neighbors or something. Yeah.
I look,
Mhm.
I look pale, like I have no blood or any. I think it's just light.
Well,
Been
I'm
drinking
in the
too much
office, and
coffee.
it's Yellow wall, so I get this orange glow, like I'm,
You got the
Been out in
Trump
the sun
thing
too
going
long.
on real hard. Yeah.
Doc's got the spray on tan, and
Yeah.
Tony's got the Skeletor look. It's all good.
Now I'm kind of gray. I don't really care. All right.
Gotta get the. Oh no, that's too much light. Yeah.
Is that too much light?
No, I was messing with mine, Tony. It's fine. Yeah.
You would think I do this shit for a living. I would have an actual setup. Right? You would think.
It goes to show you. Yeah,
Well,
you don't. Yeah.
So the problem is you get the ultimate setup, and then like my computer crashed, and it came with a new camera, and I knew this and knew that, and then it's like I don't know what the hell I'm doing now. It's going to take me weeks to figure out how everything works again. You know.
Mm.
Yeah.
See, I that's why I have Kathy. See, I do nothing. I look at the camera, I talk, and then I'm done. And she does everything else. I couldn't.
Yeah.
I've watched her. Yeah, I'm serious. Like there are certain things. I'm autistic, so there are certain things I just cannot absorb. So like the editing. Like so, she edits every video. So I'll run to the shop. I'll shoot a video. I'll come back. I'll hand it to her. She'll put it up, put it in there, and she'll edit it. She'll take because I stutter a lot, so she'll take out the stuttering. I'll misspeak. She'll take all of that stuff out. We should run an unedited video sometime.
Well, I film an hour to get 5 minutes of me not cussing and stuttering and saying yelp.
3 days of Uncle Tony.
You get a sentence out, right? So she cleans up all of that stuff. But I've watched her do this now. Like I mean, we've done like 1,400 videos altogether, and I've watched her do this every single video, and I still don't know how to operate it. The whole editing program that she uses, Premiere Pro or whatever it is. Anytime I touch it, the screen goes blank, the computer crashes. And I'm not making this up. I mean, seriously, anytime I touch it, it's just a disaster. So I just.
I remember when you and Dallas would do lives, and you guys would like fucking bump the table or something, and the whole damn thing would just crash. You know?
Dude,
I mean, I've had the same problems. I'm not saying that it's a jinx, but yeah.
I am still using that same camera at the shop, right? So I have a laptop at the shop, and I've got that. Wait, that's the camera I'm using right now. Because you see, I'm a professional.
Don't fucking bump it.
You would think I would have good equipment. I got this camera. This was like a $30 camera, like 5 years ago, and was still using it. But the problem is, if you even move it just the slightest bit, if you sneeze too hard near it, it goes out, and then you have to reboot the computer to make it come back on again. So
I had major issues the last few months where
that one does the same thing.
we'd be doing a live, and then all of a sudden my camera would shut off, and then my mic would shut off, and then I couldn't do anything with the stream. It was just running. Luckily, my brother was a mod, and he could go in and turn everything off or jump in there, and it was a pain. But now I'm getting better.
Yeah, because you fought with that thing for months with the
I did.
volume and everything.
I'm a cheap ass, and it's like I don't make a whole lot of money doing this. So, but then I'm finally like, it just completely crashed, and now I'm getting ready to start my own business. It was like, well, I kind of need the computer now. So.
Hey, which is why when you get something that works, you just leave it alone, like we all do.
Exactly. Like you don't. Right.
Yep.
It's like it's okay. Just don't fucking bump it.
wait, who is curling a slant six?
Oh, I didn't see it. Sorry.
So yeah, there was a comment on there. I don't know who brought it up.
Yeah, Landon.
Who curls a slant six?
Probably Landon. He is. Barrow said he is his cousin. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Landon's a beast.
Unfinished Projects got it right. A guy with curls and a slant six.
Yeah.
Don't let him get mad at you.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Taste the rainbow. I'm just reading through the comments over here.
Yeah.
Right. This guy. Yes, I knew it was Landon. I knew it.
Yeah.
Put it back on.
Yeah, he's built like a brick house. That's for sure.
So Glenn Nickerson says, "Put you and me together, and we'll have a creamsicle." Yeah, that's
with the orange.
With
the orange. Just a little bit.
It's just a little, Not that I have anything against that. I mean, it's something
He's talking about. He's talking about
that way, right?
He's talking about Art spraying on orange glow. He's got going on over there.
It's some kind of.
That is what he looks like. It looks like you got that spray on.
I got the Trump glow.
He's getting ready to go to prom. He's getting all primped up.
Very sexy, and I mean that in a completely non-homo way.
No homo.
No homo.
I even look at an engine roll and my back hurts. Like I don't know how these guys are doing.
Yeah, I'm the same way,
He
dude.
went to the iPole to get a slant 6 for his dart. They didn't have it all the
And
way
I know
loaded.
all us old guys back in the day, we did that. Like we picked transmissions up on our, and
Oh,
I know
yeah,
I did
yeah.
land under it. Like, no fucking way. Now I just call my kid like, hey, Hunter,
Yeah.
come on, help me put this on the track. Like,
The damage we did to ourselves back in the day. You know the thing is, like, you young whippersnappers don't understand
Killing
how exotic things like floor jacks are, because like
right?
back in the day, right? There was
Oh, he had
a
those bumper
time-
jacks. The scissors jack. that
Fucking
fell over.
bumper jack.
No,
Actually, Dylan's car might actually had a bumper jack.
Yeah,
'Cause
no
it was a
lie, right?
70 Yeah.
Back then, there was no Harbor Freight. You couldn't go to
Mm-mm.
Sears and buy even a floor jack was something that was hardcore equipment. I remember my first floor jack when I had my first shop. I was 20, and I inherited a floor jack with the shop, and I was like, I have made it. This is it. I'm a professional. I got a floor jack. Jack stands. What the hell is that?
Yeah.
We had
A tire,
Yeah,
maybe.
freaking
Yeah. to
ramps.
keep killing yourself. Yeah.
I'll
freaking
spend
ramps
thousands
and a
on tools
bottle jack.
But we,
before I break my back.
because of our
Everybody
lack
had
of
to have that
equipment,
one
we
tree
did
in the
stuff that was
backyard that had that
ridiculous.
branch. That's right.
Looks like Rob snuck in here, Jason. He must be on. He's linked. He looks like he's on your channel.
Oh, is he? I'm not even looking at my channel. Sorry, Rob.
Dakota.
Ignore my brother.
Dakota's here, behaving tonight.
What's
Now, how do you
going
go?
on here?
How do you go about timing out Dakota on this?
He doesn't. I don't
Um,
do trolls, so he doesn't. No one messes with me
Yeah.
because I know where they all live.
Actually, Rob can time him out on my channel because Rob is a mod on my channel and he's on my channel. So
Yeah,
That's
well,
why
I
he
don't
did
have
that.
any of
He's
my
over
mods here. So yeah, if one of you guys could time him out, that would be great.
the shoulder doing better, Rob. That's good. I had a tooth pulled on Wednesday, right before Thanksgiving. Lucky me.
yeah.
They were supposed to do a root canal Tuesday, and they go in and they're like, "Oh, it looks like it's cracked, but let's just try it." And they started drilling and heard a noise. And like, nope. I'm like, fuck, like I took off work for this crap. So but I'm a lot better now. Believe me, like I would almost rather just have all my teeth ripped out and be done with it.
My dad bought a
I'm dead
floor
with that
jack
stuff.
from Snap-on back in the '80s. I think he just paid him
Oh,
off.
Don put him in. John did something to Dakota. I think he put
Right.
him in timeout.
I had an impacted wisdom tooth for 19 years. It was ridiculous, and then finally it broke, and we're all good.
Came out, yeah. Yeah, this was just I don't know. Pain in the ass. It's just getting old shit,
How old are
Come
you?
along. We were talking about this. You were talking about this last night, Tony. With come along in 3 fence posts and a seatbelt, and that's how you took the motor
Oh
out.
no, he stole stop signs. Remember that? That's
Yeah.
what he did.
Yeah.
We stole. Well, it wasn't just me. It was the group of guys that we were with, and we
Yeah.
stole 3 hacksaw 3 street signs and TP'd them together with chains, and then it would just
Nice.
go from guy to guy. And when you needed to pull a motor, you rented a come along, and and it was it.
Yeah,
That was
because
all
we
it
did
was.
that like you said, that stuff wasn't available, man, and it was a commodity. It was very expensive,
A cherry picker. Forget
No,
Oh
about
yeah.
it. That didn't
Yeah.
exist. This was like more of that. Like Smokey Eunuch had a cherry picker.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
I chopped
I
up the
remember
swing
my-
set one time, cut the ends off, put a piece of exhaust pipe through the middle of it, thick-walled exhaust pipe, and then use that to crank the engine out. The pipe was like bent
I
like this
worked-
by the time we were done, but it got the job done.
I worked at a muffler shop and I made one. I made an A-frame that I could put a come along on. My granddad gave me like a chain lift
chain
or whatever
fall?
you call it. Yeah, chain fall. And then when I got done with it, I cut it down and I put swings on it, and the kids swung on it for years.
There No, we had none of that stuff back then, and people today
Mhm.
don't understand it. They take it for granted.
Yeah.
Even like engine stands. An engine stand was a big.
I had to make an engine stand in high school at welding class.
Well,
Yeah.
I remember buying an engine stand around 1982, 1983, and it was $100, which was a big deal in that.
Oh yeah.
Now
yeah.
you're
Money, that was a
doing
lot.
that today. Now, what's the inflation of everything in the world? You know what I'm saying? It's like you have to put everything into perspective.
Barrows with the super chat. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that very much.
So we gotta split that 5 ways.
Yeah,
Yeah, I want my
everybody,
puppy.
everybody, yeah.
No, that
Everybody gets
goes to
50
Doc for our StreamYard fund.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Not only cost me $23 for StreamYard for the month.
Hey.
So now we only have to give $4.50 each.
Yeah, everybody's got to give me $4.50 instead of $5. Yeah.
That works.
Hey, every little bit helps.
Oh yeah.
That's
But
true.
actually, I
You
mean,
know what?
YouTube didn't pay me a lot for my ads last month, but I had people that I made videos for sent me like $400 worth of stuff, and then
Yeah, you
a
were
couple
doing
shirts and some Amazon links, and hell, it was worth the 5 hours a week I put into it.
Yeah.
Ads right now are crazy. I was watching your live this morning, and every 7 minutes was an ad. I swear to
Really?
God,
This is-
bombarded by ads. The whole
This is
thing.
the time of year for ads and consumption. So yeah.
It's
Look-
it's one of them necessary evils, and the thing is,
Yeah.
this time of the year, you have to make longer videos. You got to go between, typically you could knock it off between like 12 and 15 minutes, and it's a good sized video. You get to this time of the year, you got to squeeze it out to 20 minutes to get those extra ads in there because the CPM is off.
Is
the chain.
is off the chain until January 1st. Is that what you taught me?
Yeah.
And then it just
Yeah,
plummets.
yeah.
So you got to make all your money now, November and December, and then like just really go away. You know what I mean? January, just stop doing
You
it.
take
Yeah, it just
January
falls
off,
off. Yeah. It's worthless. Yeah.
And you never get used to it. We were just talking about this last night, I think it was. You never get used to it. Like I know January 1st is everything is going to just plunge into the toilet. And you say, well, I know this is coming. But then January 1st comes and it's like,
Yeah. You're like, okay, now how am I going to pay the gas bill? Yeah.
yeah, 2 weeks away from knocking over a liquor store now. Oh my God, what am I going to do?
Like my old boss used to say, he's like, make hay while the sun shines, and then you got to
Yep.
squirrel it away, But we don't fucking do that, Reading comments, sorry.
There's a lot of
But
them.
anyway, this is cool, man. I'm glad we figured out. Well, I'm not saying we. I'm glad Doc and Ken figured out how to do this because this is pretty cool. Like we
What a
could get,
job they've done.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Well,
just glad-
that's what I was saying. I was saying, Tony, earlier before you got on, I can remember we had to have 1,000 subscribers to be able to go live, and it
Yeah.
was literally just us talking to the
Just
screen,
to have a
like,
live, yeah. Not
hoping
to get
that
paid,
somebody
just
would
to have a live,
comment, like crazy.
Yeah, the 1,000 subs to get you live and then 4,000 hours of watch time to get monetized.
hmm
yeah. Mhm.
That seemed like it took forever. I mean, that was like
It did take
did.
forever. That's why I started doing lives just to get hours, because that's
Me
what
and-
I was taught by other people. Get
Me and
your
Joe are
hours
still
in.
working on it, aren't we, buddy?
Oh
No.
yeah.
now back then the lives didn't count towards watch hours.
No, they didn't.
So
But
yeah,
they
you still have
changed that. They changed that. They counted the lives, but didn't count your shorts when they came up with their shorts.
to- okay.
I'm 2,252 away.
2,252 of what?
Watch hours.
Let's see, where is
So you're at 1,800 watch hours.
748.
Oh, 748. Oh, okay.
Oh man.
Oh my
Oh, I don't get a lot of reach on my community channel, but I'll share 1 or 2 of your videos on my community tomorrow, and maybe that'll get you some. It probably not going to be a lot. I don't get a lot of reach on the. I don't know why. It doesn't make any sense.
I appreciate anything.
Yeah, I'll do what I can for you.
Mhm.
We only got
Yeah, the-
800
the-
more. Dylan,
the-
we're getting somebody.
really, like you said, they don't seem to do well yet. And it's funny because Google wants to become like Elon or
X.
Facebook. X, and
Yeah.
Zuckerberg.
Meta.
But they're not really giving us anything for posts. Like they're not,
Right. They don't. They
Not
don't
today.
help. Yeah.
right. Not to the big deal, but I think it does help when we push out other people's channels. Like, hey,
Mhm.
check this cat out, and then they'll.
Well, I
they'll
had
go to
a,
that.
I had a lot of people. I had a lot of people help me in the first year and a half and stuff like that. So,
Mhm.
A rising tide raises all boats. The
Right.
thing is, you guys now are in a tougher environment than like I had, and even that was a tough environment. But when I started doing YouTube, there was still kind of a viable magazine business. So you had a lot of magazine writers and people who were freelance, and that's how they kept going, right? or at least
Mhm.
kept their fingers in the business. When the magazine industry like completely evaporated, everybody poured over the YouTube.
Yeah, they're over into here now. Yeah.
Right. So you guys are up against you're up
Mhm.
against a lot. You're up against a lot. It's
Well,
definitely
yeah, I mean,
harder
look
today.
at
Richard
at-
Holker.
look at Roadkill. That's what I mean. Hot Rod Magazine looking for money. Yeah, let's put these goofy guys on television.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's over. That's
It
over.
is over, but that's that's what we had to compete with.
Oh, yeah. Roadkill was
Several years ago. Yeah.
on YouTube. I remember watching every episode of Roadkill. It was great. Like
Well,
as like entertainment, it was great.
And
Look,
how many
it
people
was
do you know
unique.
had a Roadkill T-shirt? Everybody.
Yeah. Yep.
It was unique, and it was
Right.
it was long form, right? Where
Mhm.
if you go back to that time, 2015, 2016, like that era, like when Roadkill was at its peak, it was the
Mhm.
only long form automotive content out there. YouTube videos were mostly tutorials and the occasional, okay, well, let's get it running, right? But they weren't, but now you've got people like there's a whole tribe of YouTubers that copied the Roadkill formula.
Vice
You know what I'm saying? And they do it better. They
Yeah.
actually do it better.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that always bothered me about Roadkill was that it appears to be synthetic. Like Roadkill is a lie. You know what I'm saying? It's a
Of
lie.
course it is. Yeah.
They went out there, they had budget, they had full crew, they had sound people, they had, it looked like it was just the two of them, let's say in the middle of the desert or whatever. But
But there's
they had
like chase vehicles. Yeah.
a whole crew. There was like, and it was all paid for. So like they presented it as being something that was organic, but it was never organic. It was always corporate backed.
Thank you, Colleen. I really appreciate that comment. That means a lot.
Levi does work his ass off. I just want to put that out there. Yeah.
Well, that car was proof of it.
Yeah. And one cool thing about Levi, he's a young man, but he has an old soul. And I do admire that.
How old are you, Levi?
I'm 23.
God bless you. Nice.
Mhm.
Nice.
I do like seeing the younger generation get in the cars.
Yeah.
So few of them do, man. It's crazy.
Him and my son are like, you'll get to meet my son next year at No Names, and you guys will be like peas and carrots. Like you're just both old souls, and you've taken on like my son. I've been an auto mechanic my whole life, and he's a young man. He's only 20. He's 22, but he's way farther advanced at 22 than I was at 22 as far as working on cars. Now, granted, he's been with his dad since he was like 4 years old working, but
They
he
said we
has an old soul and he has the correct attitude, and I really admire that about you.
I had my father to thank for that. Same as your son.
Yeah.
Mechanical. Pretty
So-
much his whole life.
Levi,
Glenn here, he said, yeah, you'll never understand, going to the newsstand to get the new magazine. If, because when you had like a hot rod or Carcraft and you were in school and you brought it with you, you were like, oh, let me look at it. Yeah, you were the coolest kid because you
We
had
were
the
so
newest-
stoked, man. We'd pass it around to our buddies, like, don't mess it up, but just check this out,
Yep.
Mhm.
Warren Johnson's got this fucking big ass engine, you're just,
Yep.
you're just
I
so
got a
stoked
bunch of
about
my
it.
grandfather's collection of magazines
Mhm.
when he moved
But
out.
my dad has every issue of Hot Rod magazine inventoried in plastic covers in boxes in his basement. Like that's what I'll, that's our
Your inheritance.
we're gonna get, yeah, that's our inheritance.
That magazine ruined me forever because as soon as you're able to afford it, what did you do? Chrome.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it was the late 80s, early 90s, it's chrome everything. Master
Mhm.
cylinder cover, fan shroud thing, and then valve covers, air cleaner,
Air shocks, jack the ass end
Oh.
up,
Yeah. And that was what was cool because there were no aluminum cylinder heads, there were no
Oh,
You
no.
know,
We
nothing
had
like
to-
that.
we had to work on
ignition
our own
boxes.
junk.
There wasn't anything.
Yeah.
but see,
You know?
that's what was cool about Superstock, because Superstock always showed the cutting edge, futuristic, pro stock stuff that was just like, or Complimentator stuff that was just like off the chain. That's the big thing that's missing today. You know what I'm saying? It's even on YouTube, like the stuff just isn't there the same way it was. I remember with the magazines, I was a kid. I was like 7, 8 years old, and I would do anything I could to make any money to go buy magazines. And there was the magazine store, it was a candy store, about a mile from my house. And like as soon as I got 50 cents together, I'd go run and buy whatever I get my hands on, whatever the latest magazine was. And in order, it was Drag Racing USA, which was my absolute favorite. Superstock, which was like always over my head, but it forced me to try to learn things. Carcraft, which was drag racing's It was Drag Racing's complete magazine in that period of time, and that was fantastic. Carcraft from 1967 to around 1973, when they went to the van thing, was off the chain. And then there was Popular Hot Rodding, which was a flat spot on the wheel, and I always regretted life when I got to the newsstand and the only thing to buy was Popular Hot Rodding. Because, you know
There's
what I'm
one for
talking
you there,
about?
Tony. Yeah.
You're all bummed like,
Yeah, right. I had to buy it because like, there's nothing left. I bought everything else. I don't even think I looked at the damn thing. I just bought it because I had to.
like shit. All right, I'll take it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We used to go to we live in Ohio. We used to go to Spring Nationals when it was in Columbus, Ohio. And my favorite class to watch was Competition Eliminator. I loved going out in the you had to walk out in the boonies because all the fucking fuel cars and everything were, they were top notch in the in the main where the food was and everything. But I'd go way out in the back and look at the comp cars.
Yeah.
That was my favorite cars to check out because those guys are the ones that were trying all the weird shit, that like Ken's doing now. And,
What I miss is modified. Because the NHRA killed modified like in the late 70s or maybe 1980 or 81. But modified was absolutely the best. Like when you think about off the chain door slammers, you know what I mean? Stuff leaving it, 12,000 RPM, shifted second gear before the tree. It was amazing. And IHRA kept modified around until 1991 when was it? Oh, it was when Billy Meyer bought it. He killed modified. So that would be 1980. Actually, he robbed me. I got robbed of the IHRA I Pure Stock record with my Mustang because Billy Meyer bought it. So I ran back-to-back 1343s at 100 more miles an hour at ATCO, right? I had it. Billy Meyer bought the NHRA over that winter. So this was in like October, I ran those numbers. He bought the IHRA in December of that year and then canceled all of the sportsman classes. So it was just from that point on, it was just funny car, top fuel, pro stock, pro mod, and then bracket cars. So I got robbed of I got robbed of my chance at the record book.
That's dirty.
Is Bader still on the IHRA now? I know he did for a while.
Who?
Bill Bader. He owns shit. Something by you.
He owned Norwalk.
Norwalk, yeah.
Yeah.
And he was like 51% owner of IHRA for a while. I don't know if he is anymore or not, but
I only met him once. We got booked in with the funny car at Norwalk. What was it? It was such a long time ago. But it was a nice track, and I remember the whole experience as being like really cool.
the cool thing is you can buy the pound of ice cream for $1 still up there. And
at Norwalk.
It's cool as shit. Oh yeah, it's cool as shit. Yeah.
I haven't been since I was little when Dad went and raced. So
What was really neat is down past the finish line on the left side. That was where you all camped. So you could literally pull your camper right up to the freaking finish line traps and just sit there and watch cars go down. It was so neat,
Dylan, you said
It's a big ass track.
You said you're going to put your car into the 8s, right?
I'm getting low 8s.
What are your plans to do that? Like, what's the moving forward? What's the plan here? What are we doing?
Well, right now I'm putting a forged bottom end motor with a stock crank together. Same upper end of the engine is going to be all the same as it was before. Same set of heads, valve springs, all that stuff. But the forged rods and pistons is really what it needed. I mean,
so you can put a little more timing in it, be a little bit more aggressive.
That, and we'll be adding lots of more fuel and a lot bigger turbo.
Very cool.
We'll be going from an 80 to like a 94.
And what kind of mile an hour are you turning now?
It went 147.
Oh, jeez. Did you keep an air out from underneath that thing?
No, it's pretty tall.
You better start. You better start thinking about that if you're going to go much faster than that. 155, 160 like that. A typical car like that will really start to get light.
Quick.
Yeah, like before you know it. It just.
Even
I'm
at
sure it starts to
4,000
feel
pounds?
light to you, right?
What's that?
Does it start to feel light at around like
It's a
1,000 foot
tank.
mark? Yeah, don't underestimate it. It'll happen like all at once. The car just gets light and you feel it drifting around. Put some kind of air dam under the front of it. Just break the airstream going under the front of the car.
I'll have to try that.
Like a little valence.
If I didn't have the stock suspension in it now, the car would probably be in the 8s, but like I
I
can't leave
tried to
on
post
any
my
power.
link stock, but it wouldn't let me do it.
So I mean,
No, I'll get it. Yeah.
I'm really pretty much leaving on 300 or 400 horsepower, and then bringing the boost in before, just a little bit before the 60 foot. So
I just can't believe you got that thing leaving like that with the stock with the
Oh, it's
trailing
amazing.
arms. Because I mean, you do realize the geometry is backwards.
yeah, it's horrible. The instant center, it's a mess.
There is no instant center. It doesn't.
Yeah.
exist on that
Behind
thing.
the bumper. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, Levi, you're talented, man. You made that car do something it shouldn't be able to, man.
Does it rise like a leaf spring car?
With the new shocks, yeah, it does work properly now.
No, it's
It-
supposed to squat
No, you don't want squat.
on a
you want-
trailing. Well, think about it. You got a 4-link.
Yeah,
You want that thing to squat. You got it rising like a. I mean, it's working for you, but you got it rising like a leaf spring car. If you take those top arms and you drop them down about 4 inches, now you got an instant center, and the car will squat on the hip.
we're trying to get it to pretty much compress like barely any, and then extend like a radial car basically.
Okay.
And then we've got the front almost controlled to where it doesn't even hit the full extension, which is basically what a radial car does. It brings the front end up, and then the rear slowly moves up, pushing the rear end down. It's a weird. I don't like. I'm not very smart on the whole conversation of that, but
How much dropout do you have with the front wheel?
I think it's like 6 inches.
Okay, it's a lot of travel.
It needs a little bit more, so I bought second gen Camaro tubular control arms, which are going on it this winter, which I was told from some people that have had these cars that did like lowering jobs and stuff that they work. So I'm going to do like a long travel front end setup on it to try and get some more out of it. And then we'll also have double adjustable coilovers on the front so that I can have more control.
Over the winter, right? Just look into what I'm telling you about the upper control arms, because that's the whole thing with those cars.
I don't want to interrupt, but we are actually cutting the whole 4-link system out and putting in something that's adjustable.
Oh, okay, okay.
It'll still be triangulated 4-link, but it'll just be more adjustable.
But
I can do it.
you can make that one adjustable. What's
No,
already
not
in there.
this one.
The
when
stock trailing arms.
No,
No,
they're.
I'm telling you, you can.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that was old trick back in the days, because the way GM set that suspension up, okay, the control arms, right, or the trailing arms,
Yeah.
is they're facing away from each other.
Yep.
Right. The lower arm is facing up a little bit, like it would normally be on a 4-link, but then your upper arm is facing up also. And so that's why when you put power to it too aggressively, it wants to pop the rear end off the ground. So by taking the front of the upper arm and lowering it, you actually turn it into a 4-link, into a proper 4-link, where you've got an instant center, and you can actually adjust it from that point too. That's what I'm saying. For your car to do what it's doing there, bro, you've got your. I mean, that's amazing.
That's what we did with the Mustang. We drilled a hole 2 inches lower where the upper arm went in, because that was about as far as we could go, and dropped it down. Big difference.
Night and day,
Huge
right?
difference.
Yeah, the pedal boxes and stuff. Yeah.
I may try that before I cut it all out.
There you
Small
go.
changes, I'm telling you.
You
you'll be
should,
amazed.
man. Yeah, it makes a big difference.
It hurts me because it's a full frame car still. I mean, everything on it's almost stock. So I hate to cut it apart. That was the problem.
Yeah, and you shouldn't, because you have all those extra cross members and stuff under the frame to stiffen the frame. Like,
Oh yeah, it don't
you
twist
should just
much.
drop you should really try just dropping those upper arms down. You would
We
yeah,
are
because-
having.
Not even if you grudge race the car, that people are going to look at that. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, they're sizing you up. They're gonna look under your car and shit. And if they see stock control arms, it gives you a big fucking advantage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're gonna think it's slow.
Yeah, right. I mean, I would that package that you have there, bro. I mean, if you're in the right place, you know, like you could clean up with that thing. You can make a lot of friggin' money with that.
Yeah. The Mustang with with an NA 351 Windsor 60 footed like 135 when I dropped those arms down. Just that much. It was insane. It
Did it
was stupid.
squat at that point?
It did squat, yeah.
Yeah, like I said,
But it didn't. The problem it really had was it would roll over on that right side, which they all do. You know,
Yeah,
but
that's what
once
you
I
gotta
did
sway bar.
that took a lot of it out. But we did put a sway bar on the back of it, so
This
it's
is-
like that too.
I had to put an anti-roll bar on mine because it looked. I mean, just turning like to get off the
Yeah,
track,
just
the car would like hike up. It was such an odd feeling, and the way it looked was even worse.
Would
well,
you?
the frame's so long on that thing.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of room to articulate, you know.
You think about it, you've got exactly the same architecture that makes for the G-body shuffle. It's just spread out over a bigger distance.
Basically,
It does, exactly, yeah.
it looked weird when it left before we did the anti-roll bar.
Have you run that thing no prep at all?
Yes, it actually went one of its fastest passes on a no prep surface. It went
What tire are
990.
you using?
What's that?
What tire?
It's a Mickey Thompson 28-10-5. Just a slick.
Slick, not a radial.
No. It's a I had 29.5 9 wides on it just because that's what we had for free when I first got the car together, which was a soft sidewall slick, and it did not like that. And once I went to a hard sidewall and tubes, it made the car ride and drive so different.
And what about radials? Have you tried radials on it?
Not yet.
Yeah, stiff sidewall, and then you go to a radial.
I
You'll
don't know if you heard that, but
really
that was
like
my
that.
girlfriend going, "Please don't."
yeah.
My
They-
brother's
that-
doing radials on his car, and
The
he does
radials
nothing but go
hit.
sideways.
The radials hit really hard. And
Yeah.
if the car works right, it's much faster because you don't have all that wrinkle in it.
Right.
You know, the tires wrinkling up and then the car's moving. The radial's literally just like, ooh, it goes. So the 60
Oh crap!
drop tremendously. Yeah. There's Brooke.
We got Nelson's in the house. You should have a
Oh.
bracket for the lower
Good
control,
luck.
and
What's
lower
up,
the
brother?
mounting point on the rear.
Nivlak, that's exactly what I was just saying.
Yeah.
Literally, word for
Yeah.
word, that's what they're telling them.
Spot on. Yep.
Oh yeah, Calvin knows his stuff.
Well, we don't know if this is Calvin or Andrews, but it's
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
true.
Nelson.
About
so-
that. Well, I mean,
One of
either
them.
one of them.
They're both
They
smart
know their
people,
stuff.
so you know.
Yeah.
Very,
Very
very
people.
intelligent people. Yes.
Very smart guys.
Rob
And
drives
then-
three cars. It doesn't need to go
Hey,
faster.
Well, show you something real quick, Tony. Not to sidetrack you, Dylan, but
Man, you're
Uh,
good. It's your
Patrick,
line.
mostly all parts and rust. He has the Dick Landy Duster.
Okay.
Yeah,
Which one?
Patrick, yes.
Which
The blue one.
Hi,
the-
Pat.
yeah,
Blue
the
one.
blue-
Yeah.
the 70. What year is
It's
that,
like,
Patrick?
they're all
Yeah.
fucking blue. It's pretty sweet. It's pretty sweet.
Mhm. Yeah, radials make it faster. It's yeah.
Look, my anxiety is already bad with the way it runs now. I don't need radials helping that along.
Well, one thing about it, Brooke, when he puts the radials on it, is it takes a lot of that whole like wishy-washy, especially when he goes so here's the thing I noticed when we put radials on
Yeah,
it,
it takes
not
a lot
only
out
it
of it.
left harder, but down at the end, have you ever noticed when he lets off the hind end wants to come around the front end? That goes away. It keeps it straight. Like a lot of us guys are old and we can remember having cars with bi-splice tires and you're going down the road, it would grab every rut in the road. Well, basically, a normal slick is a bi-ply tire, so it catches every rut in the road. Well, radial, it has the steel belts in it, and it keeps the tire level with the road. It doesn't flex. So when he goes down there on the end and he lets off, instead of his whole hind end shaking around, it's just straight. Like it's literally, it's almost like a, I don't know how to explain it, almost like a flywheel. Like you guys know what I'm talking about. It's like the rotational weight of those belts in the tire keeps the car straight the whole way down the track.
We're at a point.
Straight.
My first goal when I first started the car was I just wanted to go fast enough to have a parachute on it, which was 150. That was it. I thought that's plenty fast enough, and now we're there, and I'm like, I want to go faster. I don't know.
It happens.
It's a bad
That's
sickness.
the sickness. That's the addiction. It's like, yeah.
Now, you remember the old days running those like full-bodied cars like that on slicks, and the amount of air you would be able to pull out of them it was direct comparison with how big your balls were when you got to the
yes. Yeah. You
Big
go
man,
there,
but you'd be woo, yeah.
Yeah,
the tire's
well,
almost flat.
3 pounds of hair in the tire, but you know,
Thanks for sharing.
Dude, did
It's
you see the
crazy.
wrinkles in that tire? It was so cool. Well, we really didn't need those wrinkles in the tire.
Yeah, when we had the 29.5 9 wides on it, they were the soft sidewall, and I didn't have any tubes in them. The lowest we ever ran them was 10 pounds, which is not recommended by the tire manufacturer whatsoever.
tubeless. Yeah, that's
So it was like a handful on the big end.
My buddy runs a bracket car that runs like anywhere from 6.0s to 6.20s in the 8th, and he runs that pro bracket radial. He runs like 19 pounds of air in the tire, and it doesn't wrinkle. Yeah, and it'll put it on the back bumper. Like I can give you a link to videos on it. It's an F body. It's not a full frame car. So
the thing is, if you're not dealing with a formula car, like meaning that something that's common, people build it over and over and over again the same way. There's really no way to predict how the car is going to react to it. So like you could put drag radials on there expecting, this is the ticket, and the car slows down. You lose 0.3 in the 60. And where the hell did that go? Right? It doesn't, just because you have an unorthodox combination, you just have to mix and match. One size doesn't fit all. You know what I'm saying?
right,
No.
exactly.
Well, I've ruined 2 drive shafts, aluminum drive shafts. The pinion angle is like pointed straight up. It hits the floor of the car when we launch. We're thinking that it's bending the torque boxes somehow.
No, bro. I'm telling you what it is. It's the geometry. It's those upper
You
control
need to
arms.
drop that arm down, and that changes the instant center of where that
100%.
and wraps up. Yep.
100%. And the car will squat when you've got it right. Now the car isn't going to dive and smash the gas tank into the ground, but when you lay into it, it'll come down a little bit. You'll see it push the tire. If you're watching it in slow motion, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It'll push the tire at the same time that it's coming down a little bit, plant it. If you look at what you got right now, the suspension is literally, you've got a leaf spring car. For all intents and purposes, you've got a leaf spring car there, and it's going to rise because of that geometry. Change the geometry, just the positioning of that top bar, and now it will act like a proper 4-link car, and you could tune it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey Dylan, if you where those arms are sitting, the bottom's going up, the top's going down. You take a piece of tape and you run it straight until those intersect. Okay, that's going to show you where the rear end is lifting up at the car, on the car, in the frame. So you drop that down. It extends how far the rear end is lifting up the weight on the car. It'll go from like the back of the door to the front of the car to the front of the door. So you have that much more leverage. That's the point of it.
Well,
You change the
what he's saying is the instant center is what he's talking about. So,
Mhm.
are you familiar with what the instant center is?
I don't know what exactly it measures on this card now.
On any car, doesn't make any
Oh,
difference.
yeah, I know what an instant center is. Yeah.
Mhm.
So ideally, those points where they meet should be right about the car's center of gravity,
Yeah.
right? Which would be right about where your knee is sitting, more or less. Someplace between your knee and the firewall.
Yeah.
In that space right there is about the car's center of gravity. On the hit, not the center of gravity under motion.
No. Yeah.
So
I know
that
what you mean.
changes now, right? But static, your center of gravity should, or the instant center should meet those imaginary lines. So if you draw a line from the lower control arm to the upper control arm, and you have an imaginary line where they meet, should be the car's static center of gravity. And that's where it'll plant the hardest.
Yeah, hopefully this year we get all that squared away, and because like I said, I'm leaving on 300 horsepower, which on a 4,000-pound car, the starting line means everything.
Sure.
Like we're probably losing two or three tenths on the starting line.
Well, you said you were running like 140, 60 foots, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. So you're thinking that car at 4,000 pounds is going to get 120?
well, on the big end, we're losing 3/10 on the big end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it would probably be a 590 car if we could get the car to leave under some power.
Well, I'm telling you too, block some air from underneath it, because not only will it keep the car from getting light in the lights, but it'll help your mile an hour. Because all of the air that's coming underneath the car is grabbing stuff, especially at that speed. You get up to, in like the 120, 130 range like that.
Yeah.
The air coming under the car is violent. It's turbulent. It's doing all kinds of things, and it's really holding you down. You'll pick up a couple of miles an hour with just like a simple air dam. You can get like what have I seen people use?
The garden curbing.
Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, the
No,
plastic.
really, no.
Yeah,
It makes a huge difference.
No lie.
you just make that little valence. Yeah, Dallas, what's going on, brother?
I'll try and come up with something.
Well, there you go, Dylan. You got a bunch of grade A advice, brother.
That's what I need.
Right, you want to learn about air? Look at all the guys 10 years ago who took all the Saturns and everything and had all the crazy plastic ground effects and stuff, trying to get 50 miles an hour out of their cars. They're just taking all that air from under the car and just putting it over, so you're only getting drag on one surface.
Yeah.
Look at my S10 behind me. It's got a lower valence on it, and my S10 it still had a lower valence on it.
Levi,
Probably
That's
missing
the thing, though.
Nivlak saying you need a wing on the car too.
the little wing, the little tiny one.
Yeah,
Like
tail wing
Louisville's
to
got.
put some pressure on the back of the car. Yeah.
That's the thing, though. In the 80s and 90s, how hard was it to get that kind of advice? Oh my God, you had to know somebody.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Sure.
You flat out had to know somebody or figure it out for yourself.
You're
was
super
lucky.
loud.
Am I loud?
Yeah, you're coming across
Yeah,
like
you're
super loud.
like muffled loud. It's weird. Oh, it's because it's so close. Yeah. Tony may
I
have
wonder if
heard
it's
of
coming through.
a guy named Richard Doan. He was here from Ohio. He ran a competition eliminator. He passed away a few years ago,
Thank you, though.
and he did our wheel alignments for us. And he was an awesome suspension guy, and he was great.
Yeah, well, that stuff makes a difference.
hmm
That's all those little parasitic things that add up. You know what I mean?
Is
Definitely.
that better?
The tail wing. I don't know what my car would look like with a wing.
Oh my god.
Bitches.
It would
Not
be-
pretty.
Well,
It would be an extra 3 foot longer.
over 150 miles an hour, the car becomes a wing. Which is like, at this point, like you really need to start looking at the aero of the car just to keep it, stable.
It becomes a wing on the wrong side,
Right.
on the bottom.
I tell you
that
what,
little balance in the front will keep it from. Yeah.
you could look at NASCAR cars
You're
of that
100%
era,
freaking
that body
wrong.
style. You go like from let's say the middle 60s to like the middle 70s or so, and you look at some of the things that they did to keep the air out from underneath the cars. Because I'm telling you, 150 miles an hour is when it becomes good. It's a little bit different depending on the body style, but approximately 150 miles an hour for a traditional shaped American type car, that's where they start to get really light and will take off.
Oh, I don't want that. I figured this car was designed for NASCAR, so it has to have some type of aerodynamics somewhat.
Well, yeah, it's got like
Yeah.
a little kind of nose to it, but it doesn't do anything to manage the wind
Yeah.
under the car or at the back of the car.
Yeah, because the hump
That's what
creates
he
low
said.
pressure and sucks the car up off the ground.
Yep.
Yeah, because did you take the front bumper off that
No
thing?
wing.
What's that?
Did you take the front bumper off of it?
No.
Back bumper.
Okay. The back bumper, that's right. I'm sorry. I remember one of the bumpers was missing.
That bumper weighs like 100 pounds.
Mr. Ryder neighborhood.
Oh,
Well, it's
Dallas.
Dallas.
yeah. Dallas, yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, Dallas.
It does have the Laguna front end on it still.
Yeah, it's an S3 Laguna, isn't it? Yeah.
Mhm. It is.
That's
Yeah.
the best looking out of all of those cars.
Yeah.
Oh, they were
Yeah.
gorgeous cars. Yeah.
I remember when they were new. That was like
They
those
weren't-
were dismal times, man. You know,
They weren't. I don't think they were popular back then, and they're not really that popular now either.
Oh, when
No,
we
they
were
weren't.
kids, they were popular. Like
Oh
in
yeah,
the,
those
in
were
the
yeah.
80s. They were
Before you were
popular.
born, sir.
Yeah,
They were
yeah,
very
I mean,
popular.
Yeah. Mm,
but they weren't as
control over
many of
that.
the Lagunas as just the regular Chevelles and the Malibus. The Lagunas were kind of odd, right?
Yeah.
But they were just beautiful. You know, like you got to go back to that era. You have to be a kid, you know, like a car kid in the 70s when these things were around, and that thing was like a breath of fresh air. It looked really, it was.
Were some of the Lagunas
well, like-
they had the 400 small block in them? They were pretty sweet.
yeah. They,
Well, like
they
you said,
come with,
yeah, NASCAR designed it to run 200 miles an hour, but it had a
up
rear
until
wing.
'76. They had an option for the 400 and 454.
Nice.
And a 4-speed.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
You get those cars 454 4-speed up until what 75 it was
6.
76.
6, yeah.
Yeah, there's
Till
actually
the catalytic converters came along, boys.
there's actually
That's when
one.
the fucking demise happened, you know.
There's a it's a green, like the puke green with white interior, white vinyl top, 454 4-speed car, which is like pretty much hen's tooth rare, just like 20 minutes for me. And I've been trying to buy it since I bought this one.
Nice. Heck yeah.
Yeah, the only car
Good
I had
luck.
from that area, I had a 74, 75 Oldsmobile W25.
That's
Yeah.
With
that's
the
what we
white
had.
seats that turned out where you
Yeah.
could get
Swivel
Yeah.
seats
Oh,
and-
I
and
love
the-
my
and the-
My wife,
and the T roofs and
My
things like
wife-
that. And,
yeah, my wife and I brought our first daughter home from the hospital in one of those. Yeah.
oh, that car was
Mine
great.
was the
It's slow as dirt, but it was it
Yeah.
was great.
Mine was the 6 Nights of Olds option, so it had chrome mirrors on it.
That's fantastic, man.
Do you remember those? Yeah. It was-
Oh, I am. I was like, what the crap? I see.
Those were some dark times we survived through.
Those, I mean, but during the time when if you had that low horsepower 350 Oldsmobile engine in that big Cutlass, but that was as fast as they got. So, but they made the right noises. They just didn't go anywhere.
They wheezed.
Yeah.
I remember that distinctly, man. They wheezed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
help me, yeah.
Ours had a 350 with a 2-barrel in it. It was like, yeah. Did the whole flip
Dallas,
the air lid upside down so you could get the boom. Yeah.
That happens all the time, Dallas. People say, I'll fix it up someday, and then they don't.
And
Which
it's still there.
Wow,
You know,
a S3 wagon, that would be cool.
it's
Yeah.
their choice, but sometimes you gotta be self-aware and go, "Am I going to finish this?"
There's a
someday?
guy. There's a guy that lives down the street from me. I went to school with his kid, and he has a '69 SS 4-speed 396 Chevelle, black on black on black, totally taken apart in his garage. I mean, and it's been in there for 40 years since we were kids. And he's like, "Yeah, I'm going to put it together one of these days. I'm going to put it together one of these days." I'm like, I remember when I was working in the muffler shop when I was a kid, and he was like, "Yeah, Dad's going to get that car together. Can you build him like some trick?" It's awesome. I'm like, I really don't think I'm going to be doing this when your dad gets done. And he got all pissed off at me.
Yeah.
So I'm walking my dog still, and I'm going by like, yep, still fucking sitting there in pieces, you know?
We all know.
I can't do the math. This is 2023, going to be 2024. I have a friend of mine who I'm not going to mention his name. He's a really good guy. He's still in New York. And we were both 16. We were the same age. And we were both 16. He had his parents owned a drive-in hot dog place, right? And he had a 70 Roadrunner. I'm sorry, a 70 Satellite. And I had a 69 Charger at the time. And I was putting together. And we started working on these cars at the same time. So now, fast forward to however many years this is later, from 1978 to 2023, his car is still apart. He has never put it together.
Crazy, isn't it?
There's a guy when I first moved to Tennessee 10, 11 years ago. Who I talked to because I had a beautiful 68 Cougar, and then I was looking for another one when I got here. And this kid had one, in his backyard. Wanted way too much money for it, and he thought it was some kind of super 4-speed rare car. And I'm like, I had my little cheat book. I took the numbers, and I'm like, no, dude, it was a 2-barrel automatic car. Still didn't believe me. Fast forward, last week I see it. It's on Marketplace in the same spot.
Oh no!
Trying to sell it for $5,000, and it's got it's now become the Earth, and it wasn't a stellar car 10 years ago. I'm like, oh my god, just should have sold it to me then. Now it's just junk.
One-Eyed Cat's asking about Steve Maggs. He's in therapy. He's in therapy. He's optimistic about getting. I don't know.
Oh yeah, that would be badass.
Yeah.
One of the guys I worked for, Dallas, had one of those. It was a black on black. Oh, it was a gorgeous car. Gorgeous car. He takes it to Buick Nationals every year. His name is oh shoot, I can't even. His name's Steve. Gosh, what is his name? But he has like 4 GSs, and yeah, but that black one was, I freaking wanted that car so bad. He let me drive it once when I was a young man, and he let me take my wife out in it for the weekend, and we went to the drive-ins and stuff with it. And that was just such a cool car. Such a cool car. Steve Way was his name. You might know him because he always goes to the Buick Nationals.
You ever notice that anything that has GS in it is always very classy?
Oh yeah, everything. Yeah,
and the Suzuki, the GS series,
Suzuki.
Right?
Yeah.
Am I the only one who ever made that connection?
Yeah.
Yeah, the GS. What was it? I had one of those. GS, was that a 450 or something?
Yeah, they made a 450, 550, 750, 850.
Yeah.
But
and you know what? Mine was all black.
It was all black, right? And it had the cast snowflake wheels, right?
Yeah.
Not snowflake, the crisscross. If you look at it, the Suzuki GS is a Buick GS. It's like the Suzuki designers got their hands on it.
They were like, let's make a pimp ass motorcycle.
Let's make this motorcycle into a car.
Right. Yes.
I'm not the only one who ever caught that, right?
Yeah. No, that was me. Yeah. I had one myself. So
with the gold pins all over the place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And the big seat and the nice laid back bars. Like you could just
the buckhorn bars.
It was a grandpa, just cruise it,
Yeah. No, you could cruise it, but those things were bitch fast. I mean,
they were super. Yeah, they were.
The 850 was the shaft drive. The faster one was the. God, I'm drawing a blank now. But they were all beautiful.
Shaft drive motorcycles are freaking crazy. Like,
well, they rise up. You get on them and you're, whoa, hey, what's going on?
Oh shit, yeah. There's like no deflection in the chain. Like, okay, I didn't really expect that. Oh, Dakota's timeout's in here now.
It just robs so much horsepower.
Mm-hmm.
You're not turning one bevel drive, but two.
Two, yeah.
The craziest motorcycle I ever had was one of those BMW 1200. I think it was called a LT. And it was literally a 4-cylinder BMW inline. It had a little tiny manual transmission like you would have in a car.
Yep.
Shaft drive. That thing was stupid. Like, I mean, it was stupid fast and big, heavy bike, but damn, it was fun to drive,
Yeah, I never rode one of those, but I remember them. That was a cool bike.
So my friend rode one. He was in the service. He retired. He rode it from Florida all the way out to Pikes Peak. He went up Pikes Peak, and then he came back, and he went up into Minnesota, and his family lived in Michigan. And then he came down here to see me, and the clutch was out. And he says, hey, I'm going to give you this bike, but you got to give me a ride out to it's a town called Xenia. It's like 20 miles away, but you got to take me out here to get this car because I got to be back in Florida to go on a cruise with my wife in like 3 days. I'm like, okay. Dude, it took me like 3 months to put a clutch in this thing. First of all, I'll find the parts.
Oh, the BMW don't go to bleed the brakes on a BMW motorcycle. Oh, it's
Oh
a
my
stage
God,
and
it was
3-month process. Yeah, it's
Well, the clutch bleeding was the same way. And then this,
you bleed
this
it to this section, then you got to
motherfucker-
bleed to the next section. Yeah, and start
Yeah.
over. Yeah.
So I had this fucker. I had one of those scissor lifts for cars in the garage, and I put wood planks on. I had this thing tied down. It was on there for months. I fucking finally get it all bled out. I sit it down, and it's leaning on the kickstand to the left side. It was like somebody came up and pushed that thing over. It literally went from the left side to the right side, broke the windshield, which on those the windshield was adjustable. Well, it broke the top of it all. So I just took my die grinder and made it like a little, like a little sport bike about this big. And I never rode it, and I sold it. I got rid of it.
But during the course of doing a clutch on that bike, how many times did you say, "What the hell is this"?
Oh man, I said every curse word. I mean, I've said curse words you've never heard before, like in conjunction. Like it was, yeah. I didn't understand it at all.
They're so typically German. I mean, like there's like the
they're
essence
just-
of like, you're like why? What the hell are they
Completely
thinking of this?
over-engineered. Yes. Luckily, I got the guy I bought the stuff from off eBay. When he sent it, like I'm like, I don't even know, and it's all backwards ass. It was like a reverse diaphragm, So luckily he was like, "Hey, if you have any questions, give me a call." I called this guy like 19 times. I sent him a Christmas card with like $50 in it because he was just so great.
Yeah, I never had the pleasure of actually working on one of those bikes, but I'm familiar with the whole. German.
Well, I only did one. And that's it.
German engineers, fellas.
Yeah.
See, the Nazis didn't lose the war. They didn't lose the war.
Mm-mm.
They went underground. They all went into engineering, and they're still at it. They're still
Yeah.
at it.
Well, look at the Autobahn, man. The Autobahn's like 8 foot
And on
thick.
it.
It's never worn out. Yeah. No, I'm good.
It is weird. It's a weird feeling going that fast and in a passenger van.
Oh, you drove the Autobahn?
For work, I work on
Oh
mixer
yeah,
and
he was
reactors.
just over there. Yeah,
I was in
Dylan
Germany.
actually just over there.
Okay.
Yeah, he was just over there. Yeah.
And so it's basically a panel van, and we haul the tools to each job site. Doing like 110 in a van with 2,000 pounds worth of tools is terrifying. And I wasn't driving, so I had no
I was
control.
going to say, why'd you go that fast with it?
Because the guy was in
Because you could.
he was in a hurry. He had to go back. He had to come back home for a wedding or something on the weekend. So he's hauling on the Autobahn, and I terrified. I like going fast, and I was terrified.
Was there shit like McLaren's blowing past you?
No. Honestly, it was a lot of like passenger cars going faster.
So you were getting drove by. Okay, I was wondering.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we weren't going the fastest. He had to pedal to the floor of that little diesel. It was a VW van, with tools in the back.
Yeah.
It's just flat
Anytime
out, yeah.
anybody mentions the Autobahn, I just picture the thing being like a Top Gear episode,
And what's funny is I don't think I've ever seen a wreck or anything like that. So
Well, Germans are hardcore religious about their high-speed driving.
oh yeah.
It's not just show up and fog a mirror to get your driver's license in Germany. It's like a 2-year process.
Well, yeah, the guy that I'm friends with in our company is $5,000 to get his license.
Wow.
Jeez.
Yeah, you're not
Euro.
going to mess that up. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's rough.
So do you guys know what a rear fog lamp is?
A rear
It's
what?
invented for the Autobahn. A rear fog lamp.
Yes, it's
Just-
when I know. You want me?
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Yeah.
It's
I'm
on the
glad
back
you
of the
know,
cars.
because-
It sounds like Volvos and some like even Teslas have it, but it's an extra red, basically brake light bulb that stays on all the time on the back of the car for in foggy conditions. So when people come flying up behind you, they can see you.
Really?
So I'm an idiot. I didn't know this. And
Mhm.
this customer, we live by an Air Force base that we have, everybody coming over. He was like, "Hey, I have my Audi shipped over here and I keep getting this rear fog lamp." I'm like, the fuck is a rear fog lamp? Like,
Yeah, it's a rear.
You know,
Yeah, rear
because
red
we're
light.
used to having like extra set of lamps,
You're looking all on the bumper forward.
Yeah, he comes in like 3 times. He's super nice guy. He's like, he has like maybe I don't know what accent he has, but he's like, hey, he's like, I don't want you to, I'm not trying to make you look like an idiot, but this is what the rear fog lamp looks like. So he shows me a picture of an Audi with the rear fog lamp on. I'm like, oh, so I take his tail lamp apart. I'm like, yeah, it's just like the difference between 1156 and 1157, you know.
It's a brake light bulb. Yeah.
So
just an
I
extra
just
$2.
learned that here recently. So just letting you guys
I
know.
just learned something new. That's
Yeah,
There,
me
there
I had
are
no idea
rear
such a
fog
thing
lamps.
existed.
So I thought I've seen this a couple times with cars. I'm going down the highway because we travel a lot. I'm like, why is this asshole riding his brakes? You know?
He's not
No,
ready
that's
to
his
he didn't
rear
hit the
fog
button.
lamps.
You're a fog lamp on.
So just
And it's unlike Volvos and Audis and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
I guess
Ask
that's how
the
you do
used car guy next
styling
time,
with a
Jason.
German
Yeah.
car.
yeah,
The
just-
one thing
just a
about
little
Germans,
tidbit for
though, is the car scene is not as good as it is over here. And there's usually when there's a car guy over there, it's new McLarens or things like that.
Right.
But here's the thing: they got a lot of cool wagons that are rear-wheel drive,
The
Small
state wagons.
motors.
Yeah.
but rear-wheel drive. I feel like there's going to be a lot of vehicles transported from there to the U.S. for swaps because there's a lot of nice-looking cars, like nice station wagons and like sedans and stuff, two-door cars. And like you don't really have that here. You know, there's not.
Right.
Everything's a crossover.
Yeah, we got an SUV
Right.
basically.
Yeah, they
I mean,
they still have badass station wagons. Basically, they
The
call them
emission
state
laws
wagons.
over there in Europe in general is just killing the car scene more than
The
more.
the one thing I was surprised about, there was a Dodge Caravan or similar, it had a diesel and it was stick shift. And I got pictures on my phone. I was in disbelief. And it wasn't a swap. This was a car that someone
No,
went and bought.
a lot of them are stick shift diesels. Weird cars over there. Yeah.
Never heard of that.
I've seen stick shift caravans here, but I've never seen a diesel. I didn't know that was even available.
Me either. But it was very cool.
You know, the XJ, right? Now I've become an XJ freak, right? You know, they built that in China until 2014. They stopped building them here in 2001, but they built them in China until 2014, and that was a diesel.
That'd be kind of cool. I'd have bought a diesel one of those.
Yeah, so would I.
That reminds me of like the Land Cruiser or whatever that they had diesels in.
I'm just looking
I
at
want one of the last OG Beetles from Mexico.
From Mexico.
That's
Yeah.
what
that would be cool.
I'm actually going to Mexico in about 3 weeks. My daughter's getting married in Mexico, so
But it's not a fun part of Mexico. It's like Cancun or something, right? Not Tijuana.
yeah, Cancun. No, we're
Yeah.
not going down TJ. Yeah,
That's something that's, I don't know if the younger guys would never experience what that was. If I don't.
right.
Am I the only one that's been there? But yeah, you go down
Oh,
there.
we've been to TJ, but it's way different now than what it was before.
This was in the late '80s, so it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Everything
TJ was
better
fun back
in the
then, but yeah, we can't do that shit no more.
I've only ever left the country once. I went to Canada once for a race. That was it.
Well, that's like leaving the planet going to Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Canadistan. It wasn't that bad
Canadistan.
back then, though.
I'll tell you what. We went to Niagara Falls, and I was at Niagara Falls. And I'm just like, bleh. I'm looking across the river. And I'm like, man, it looks like it's really fucking fun over there in Canada, you know. But I didn't have a passport back then, so I'm like, I can't go.
You see, back then we didn't need a passport or anything. We just drove over the border. Well, it stopped at
Yeah.
the border, just say, hey,
Yeah.
Well,
let's
you
just
can
go.
go into Canada, but you can't fucking come back. That's a problem. Like you can go into Mexico, but you can't come back.
Yeah, I just told the
sometimes
story the
that's
other day. We went into Canada with this guy, but as soon as we crossed the border coming back, I made him stop the truck. I got out and I hitchhiked the rest of the way back to New York.
So that's the trick.
I couldn't spend another minute with this fucking guy.
Let me the fuck out of here. Oh, okay, we're United States.
I gotta
It's
go.
snowing. Get the fuck- yeah, let me
Oh,
go.
really? I hitchhiked back from Canada.
Oh shit, that's hilarious.
Not at the time, it wasn't.
Yeah, I bet not.
It's a long way.
Yeah, there's a
Well,
whole lot of
I
nothing
like-
between. Yeah.
Yeah, there
border
is
of New
a lot
York
of
City.
nothing. Yeah. Looks like I saw that one Peg, the zip ties and bi-splies where he came down and went into New York with one of his buddies then he went and visited Tony, and Tony, he surprised the shit out of Tony. Tony didn't know who he was. That was
I had no
awesome.
idea.
You're like, you had this look in your face like, who in the living fuck is this? And then you figured out who it was, and I was like, that's cool. That's a cool,
He's standing in my driveway. I come back to the house.
Because none of us have fucking seen his face except for you.
I had never seen his face to that point. I come home. Kathy's got the hood open on one of the cars, and he's standing there. And Kathy's like, because she was in on the joke, and she's like, the car's making noise. I can't figure out what it is. This guy stopped to help me. So he looks at me and he says, "Do you know anything about these cars?" I was like, "Well, not really. I mean, I know some."
Yeah, you don't want to share your hand, right?
Right.
I just remember the look on your face. You're like, ah, and then you realize who it was. As soon as
I
you
know,
heard
that
the
was
voice.
great.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, that
Patrick
was a
got
good
the
one.
Yeah, Jason.
Gotta go. What?
Yeah,
Did-
yeah,
did
Jason.
Jason?
Jason got his LS and ES10. Yeah.
Yeah, I got an LS and yes.
Mostly, do you know anything about the 71 Roadrunner Hemi 4-speed that was just unearthed in the Bronx? Oh, not offhand. Not offhand. There was a bunch of
was
Hemi
that-
cars in that area. But no, I don't know anything about a particular 71 Hemi 4-speed.
Where was that, Patrick? Is it like a YouTube thing, or is it where did you find out that information about that? Because
What
I
did you
mean, how many 71 Roadrunners had a Hemi 4-speed in them, Tony?
Well, it's not so much that. So you go back to that era, like the late 60s, the early to mid 70s. There were a couple of chop shops that were run out of that area that specialized in Hemi cars.
Okay.
So and one of them was run by a very well-known person who I won't mention now.
For fear of your life, you won't mention now.
So that particular area was flooded with Hemi cars,
Dallas.
Hemi parts, and stuff like that. So yeah,
Oh, okay.
anything Hemi Roadrunner or anything Hemi popping up in the Bronx in that area, I'm not surprised even a little bit. But I guarantee it was stolen at one time.
So what
So
about
it could be a Roadrunner Hemi 4-speed, but it's probably wasn't made that way. Chances are.
No. I mean, if it's a Hemi, does it have a Hemi in it? Because they would steal these cars and pull the Hemi out. Actually, that's how Dave LeClaire got his the Native American. He's got a 67 RO23 car. I worked with him for a couple of years, and his car was one of those stolen recovers from that area. Because what happened was there was such a before the aluminum blocks came out, there were a bunch of fuel racers that ran on the East Coast, and they needed a supply of engines. They needed a supply of blocks and cranks and stuff like that, heads. So where there was a demand, the need is met, and there was at least two shop. There's one very well-known chop shop and then there were a couple of chop shops in that general area, and anything Hemi on the East Coast was fair game for these guys. So that area had an abundance of Hemi shit. Like I remember when the Hemi stuff started getting big, when people started restoring Hemi cars, like around 1984, 1983, 84, 85, like that, I got into the Hemi parts business. I was selling Hemi parts like there was no tomorrow. And that region was a gold mine because all of the stuff that they didn't use just got piled up. So intake manifolds, exhaust manifolds, air cleaners, motor mounts, all the extraneous stuff that goes around a Hemi engine, It was a
Mhm.
dime a dozen. You know what I mean? It was all over the place up there. We used to sell the stuff like on Hemmings. So you had people restoring cars in wherever, you know, any place in the country, in the world, and we'd sell them parts that came from stolen cars in the Bronx.
Parts got to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
The new ones that they make ain't no good. So
Well, it seems like the new Mopars of the today's. I feel like people keep crashing them. Like there's going to be
Oh, please.
there's got to be chop shops up now, chopping them up and putting them in normal V6 cars or something. Because like, I feel like they're always being wrecked. Or if you go on like Copart, you see a lot.
Yeah.
Those cars have just kind of they're in favor with like the lowest common denominators. You know, it's like all these street takeover idiots. That's their vehicle of choice. You know, the Chargers and the Challengers.
and they're
So they crash
very
all the time.
and they're very easy to steal. Those are
Yeah.
the easiest cars in the world to steal because they have a push button start. So what happens? The steering wheel doesn't lock. Okay. And on those, and everybody knows it's common knowledge, you break the window, you pull up the coin tray that's next to the shifter, and there's a red strap that you pull that puts the car in neutral, which is supposed to be for emergency towing of the vehicle. So now you got a car that's rolling with a loose steering wheel. So they just push it, back it up, they push it on a trailer with another stolen car, and they're gone in, 45 seconds with your car.
Gone in
Yeah.
60 seconds.
Except when Destroyer
was
13
the old days.
makes his plate.
Yeah, exactly. It's got one of Eric's
Guys,
plates. in
I
it.
got to jump out. I
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Jason,
Good
nice
night.
hanging with you, man.
Yes, sir. Tony,
Everybody.
Dylan,
All right.
love you
Have a good
guys.
night.
Have a good night. I'll
See
see
you.
you.
I'll let you know how this works and if it's
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah, I'll be excited to see.
Like I
yeah.
said, great night. I appreciate everybody. I got to go to bed. So
No.
I'm old. Gotta go
Yeah,
to work.
He's Eastern time, so yeah.
Yeah. See you
I'm
guys.
close too, Jason. Don't worry.
See you.
Appreciate you, brother. See ya.
Yeah. It's 10 o'clock up here in
Yeah,
Yankee land.
it's 10:01 here.
Yeah. All you Yankees are in Eastern time, so
I hate Yankees. Fuck Yankees.
Yeah, it's too cold up here, man.
Now wait a minute. You were a Yankee at one point.
Jefferson Davis is my president and will be until further notice.
Oh man.
But I was talking to Ken in an unrelated subject before the live here, and this is something because the last couple of days I had like a little fever. I wasn't feeling well, so I'm just sitting there flipping through stuff. I want to know how a Mars rover, which is like the size of a folding picnic table, can send images from another planet through space and through two radiation belts, one on Mars, one on Earth, into orbit, bounce it, find the other planet to send it to, its signal, and it comes in 4K, but then NASA has to colorize it. None of this makes any sense. When you can't get a CB radio to talk to your buddy 20 miles away, but this little thing that's been there forever with a solar panel the size of a laptop can beam 4K quality pictures from another planet.
Well, what about security cameras? Those are never good quality.
Why are they always fuzzy? Right? We can
Yeah.
take pictures of Mars, but we can't take a clean.
You
Like,
can't take a clean picture of a Bigfoot or a UFO, but you can get a clean shot of Mars.
I don't know about the color part, but I understand the being able to send it back and forth. That I do understand.
You think that's possible with
Oh,
that
yeah.
low power of a vehicle? Don't you have to have an immense amount of power to broadcast that signal?
I wouldn't think so.
Well, there's really nothing interfering, right? It doesn't have to fight anything.
Yeah.
It's got to fight two radiation belts.
Well,
Because
yeah,
if Mars
that's
has a
the
magnetic
problem.
field, it's got a radiation belt that covers the planet, just like Earth does.
Right.
Okay, so you have to beam a signal across time and space and two planets through two radiation belts to get a
What
4K
kind-
quality picture.
But what kind of radiation? Because not all radiation is created equal.
True.
So it
I
may
think
be
they-
compatible. The signal may be compatible to, make it through. I don't know. But I mean,
I would
I
say
just
it
don't
doesn't-
understand how you could beam. There's not satellites above Mars relaying this thing from this little size, the size of a picnic bench, to Earth. You know,
Hey,
it's a little remote control robot somewhere up in the desert of Canada.
The
I
color
work
thing
on
doesn't make
cars.
sense.
This is beyond my pay grade. You know what I'm saying? Like
This is just what you think of when you're on Dayquil and you got a little fever, and you're like,
Well, I like to stretch my brain a little bit to try and come up with logical ideas.
When it comes to anything having to do with official narratives, like just to put
anything government or NASA, it's a lot.
Yeah, I automatically assume that it's bullshit and then go backwards and try to, does that make any sense?
You got to
Just-
dissect it.
Yeah, whatever it is, it's going to be bullshit right off the bat, and then you have to determine whether or not it's important to know what the truth is. You know what I mean?
It can only transmit during the Earth and the sky of Mars. Period.
Right, when the two planets can see each other, because
Oh,
if
I
the
see.
Earth is on the other side of the sun and Mars is way over here, they ain't going to make it.
Well,
So-
that makes sense.
But these are constant signals, and they can send it. Oh, go left, go right, from here, like a drone, and send pictures. I don't know, and maybe I'm completely stupid, but it just doesn't make any damn sense to me.
You sure there's not like a space station up there they're controlling it from?
Above Mars, orbiting Mars.
I'm not sure. I don't
Out of
know.
our orbit, or perhaps beyond our radiation belt, and it only has to fight through one radiation belt.
No, all
No,
the
they're
satellites in like
doing it-
Skylab, everything is inside the Van Allen radiation belt of Earth. That's why we've never been to the moon, but that's a whole nother subject because they get cooked like a hot dog. It's that
Yeah,
type of radiation.
I don't think we went to the moon. I'm not saying we didn't go to the moon. I don't believe we went to the moon.
But everything, all the satellites are inside the Earth's radiation belt, the magnetosphere. Okay. So, no.
But there's a flip side that says that the government always has technology that's 50 to 100 years ahead of everybody else.
Hmm.
Which is terrifying.
I'm just saying,
See, Mars rover, yeah, and the technology, so yeah, basically 2 times as fast as a dial-up modem. And they're getting 4K quality out of that? No.
Well, from what I understand, like TV broadcasts last forever. Like someplace right now, wherever there's an episode of I Love Lucy. That's
Yeah, they're out there in the
first run.
But these are pictures taken from one planet, directed to a satellite or something on another planet. Not just random cast into the world. This is like a beam, so it's got to be a focused beam of energy, right?
Just assume it's bullshit.
Well, I know it's bullshit, but it was this. I'm just saying this is what was going on in my brain on the Dayquil brain.
I thought we were going to try to solve mysteries or something. Like, wait,
No.
I'm not up to this.
I'm not qualified.
no, love my pay grade.
Okay.
Yeah, the only qualification you need to know is that if it comes from an official source of any sort, it's bullshit.
Yeah.
Whatever they say,
I believe that.
it's the opposite.
I
Mhm.
believe that.
Ken, you've been quiet during this whole fiasco.
Well, I have all these great people talking. I don't need to say a whole lot.
Well, yeah, you're busy in the chat and the side chat, and
Yeah, like
Mhm.
I put focus on Dylan there for a while, so that was nice.
Mhm.
He's just soaking up the social
That's right.
enjoyment.
Yeah.
Basking in this. It's great. I don't got a whole lot going on. Like I got that 300 I'm digging with. Like it's not
I like
important.
Patrick's comment.
Yeah.
More Dayquil or alcohol. NyQuil doesn't work anymore.
They took the good stuff
But
out.
not like it used to. It'll help you sleep, but it doesn't knock you on your ass like it used to. Yeah.
No. The off-brand stuff does. Like if you go
Yeah.
to Kroger and you get like just
Dollar General NyQuil. Yeah.
yeah, that's the good stuff. That's the good stuff.
There's
Yeah,
probably
NyQuil don't work anymore.
there's probably no
Right.
regulations on it. That might be why.
Peace, Dallas.
See
See you, Dallas.
You said it, man.
Dallas is working on something really cool. Like he hasn't shown it off yet, but he's working on something really cool. I'm looking forward to see.
Well, he's got a couple things he's working on. I donated some parts to him the other day for something he's working on, and he's got a bunch of stuff in the works. He's getting he's
I like
focused back in
the
doing his
spinny,
projects.
the spinny boy thing that he's wanting to do with the turbo.
Yeah,
Something like that. Yeah, he may or may not have gotten an old spinny thingy off of the old Ranger setup. So
It's gonna be very cool.
He
I
got
don't
that
think.
T-Bird that just sits in his garage. It's such a nice car.
Oh, he raced it at No Name this year, right?
yeah, he
Yeah.
took it out. We seen him
You took
at
that
the
car
track,
out?
and then he took it out to No Name. Yeah, he ran it there and cleaned up the 10.5 class that showed up.
Oh yeah, he was it was the fastest car there this year, right?
I believe
yeah.
so. Yeah.
It's a first-rate car.
Well, and he put a tunnel ram on it too. After you seen it,
He had a tunnel ram for that sitting on his shelf last
yeah,
time.
he put that on and it picked up a bunch. Yeah,
Yeah, I was mad when we broke because I really wanted to race him.
Oh, that you broke this year?
Yeah, it come home with a rod knock, a fairly serious one.
Really?
That's the only reason I've not
You might
raced
have been
him.
able to send it one more time.
Well,
One more time.
I don't
One
know
more
if I
time?
would have. I was trying to go for personal best, and the track was just not taking it. Like the best I could come up with was a 620, and that wasn't fast enough.
no, Black Friday turbo sets. Have you even looked at turbos, Ken? Since you got that 7875?
No, man. Like the 7875 is more than I need, man. It's gonna.
Right.
That's 1,000 horsepower turbo. I don't need no more than that.
Mm.
I'm hoping.
You use that much of it. Like that's.
No, mine's still on the baby setting. So, but my engine's still in one piece and not in a bucket.
True. The turbo on the Ranger, that it all day, every day, 8 psi. It loves it. You know.
Yeah.
I'm hoping at PRI I can talk a company into giving me a 10% off or something.
Like a nice precision 88 millimeter or something.
Yeah. 10% off.
Yeah, nice $3,500 turbo.
Yeah, I mean $35, man.
Yeah, $3,500.
That'll help me.
Mm-hmm.
Just Mopar Joe. What's happening, man?
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
All right, Mopar people.
Turbo people. That's right. We're the turbo people, by the way.
I've never had a turbo.
They're a
They
lot more
make
fun
very
than I
good
thought it
stuff.
would be.
Now he won't let me talk him into putting turbos on Slaghammer or anything like that. So it's
No.
Well, that's period correct though. That would be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything on that car has got to stay like it's 1970. And I really like the nitrous. So I mean, you understand? Like I went from just gasoline carburetors, street race, because back in the day there was none of this stuff. I remember when nitrous oxide first started finding its way into the scene, but it was rare, right? So everything was just normally aspirated, cars like yours, right? Minus the turbo. And then I went right from that to blown nitro, and I did that for a dozen years. And then I got out of cars completely. I didn't touch a car for several years. I just did motorcycles. And then I started getting back into cars about 15 years ago, or thereabouts. And I never even considered building a hot rod of any sort. A real hot rod of any sort until we started doing this channel. So it's like I missed the whole evolution with the turbochargers and all of the things that have come along. But nitrous, I love it. I mean, it's cool. And I want to try with the propane. I want to try a nitrous oxide propane combination in that Belvedere and see.
you're gonna put a kit underneath that propane hat.
Yeah. I figured to start feeding it with just a dry shot. Just creep into it and see what it's going to do. Melt some pistons, and then it'll go to the next.
Yeah, you got to always find the weak link.
Well, yeah, because that propane only makes so many CFM, so you could crank in a 200 shot of nitrous on that thing, and that motor would love it.
Probably, yeah. It tops out of 400, and I think it's the equivalent of 480 CFM, which that isn't. I mean,
it's a big 2-barrel. Yeah.
But that's just a single. I'll do a double, but I want to first learn about
Ken, Dr. Tony.
Hey, Doc, highlight Dust Devils. There you go.
Could you put a roots blower on Slam? No, because I don't want to go. Okay, so I've drawn the line in the sand as far as like what I'm going to get involved in, and I stop at roll bar. If it goes any faster than requiring just a 6-point roll bar, no. You build it, and I'll come work with you, right? But I don't want to own it. I don't want to feed it. I don't want to deal with it. I don't want anything that requires more than a 6-point roll bar is off limits.
Because it would get out of hand. Because you put a blower on it, and you'd be like, "Oh, I wonder how much nitro this motor can handle since it's got a blower."
No, I have been there and got the T-shirt, and I don't ever want to go back. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm gonna get off here and hit the hay.
All right, Boston calling.
It was great meeting you. I'm going to check. What's the name of your channel?
Hey, look, there's a cat.
Yes, Levi's Backyard Performance.
Levi's Backyard Performance.
We do.
Yep.
Okay. And what's your girl's name?
Brooke.
Brooke. Hi, Brooke.
Hi, Tony.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to check out your channel tonight, and I'll share something off of it. I'll watch a couple of your videos. I'll share something off it on my community. I don't get a big reach with the community, but maybe you can pick up a couple of watch hours.
I appreciate anything that anybody gives me. I seriously.
Well, bro, you've earned it. There's no question about it. You know, you've earned it.
Thank you. All right. Well, you guys have a good night. Have a good rest of your work week. Now I gotta figure out. You too. Are you sure I got to do it there?
Hey guys, you got to excuse me for just 1 minute. I got to run out to the truck. I'm out of tobacco.
No, that's fine. Go ahead.
I'll be right back.
Take your time.
Doc, I think we made Levi's or Dylan's whole night, like whole week, like he is going to be just ear to ear from here on out, dude.
Hey.
Oh yeah.
How are you? You mad at me? What did I do? See, they're all very nice.
Dude, it was great when Tony first popped in. Though he doesn't know he's still wearing his microphone. He just got real quiet.
Yeah.
Oh man. So how many viewers we got between the
there's 42, right? 43, 44. It's got to be the weird hour because it's been climbing.
That is weird.
Yeah, indirect connection. So we got our Wisconsin guys here. We got Dust Devils on and off, just More Power Joe, mostly up parts of Rust. How's the electric cart coming along? Okay. Version 2.0, I changed the gearing on it because when we first built it, it was a 1-to-1, 24 tooth on the motor and 24 tooth on the axle. And it worked, but it moved like a golf cart. You know, and I got this thing and I'm ready for this thing to just, not my teeth out. I'm sitting in this thing and I'm all kind of
in the living room now.
And it just goes, and I'm like, oh shit. Okay. So I change it. I get a 12 tooth for on the motor and change that. So it's now the motor's got mechanical advantage. It's 2-to-1. Get it on, charge the battery, hit the button, spins the tires. Woo, coming out of the garage.
I know you're reading.
It's taken off.
I know you're reading.
But where I have that drive axle suspended on 2 pillow blocks, it bent the crap out of that because of the torque, because it was trying to lift the front of the go-kart up. Being the go-kart, it's like 400 pounds, right? So it bent my little poorly made support system for my pillow blocks, bent the crap out of that. So it's I'll rework that probably this week, and then it should work nice because before it bent all that, it spinning the tires and it was moving. So, but it's still a lot of weight. So if somebody wants to donate me 3 lightweight 16-volt batteries, that'd be awesome.
I think it needs a capacitor.
You think it just needs a big giant cap back there, so when it hits, it just goes smack.
Yep. Something you could launch just on battery, and then once you got the mass going, hit it with the cap.
Yeah. Could be. I mean, it would. I mean, it's like it's like hitting the nitrous. We need to cap on.
Hey man, I'm telling you that Pikes Peak cart idea.
Ken wants me to build a Pikes Peak go-kart just for mostly for clickbait. Yeah. Functional histories. We got a bunch of people in. It's kind of gets the weird hour after 9 o'clock, and people just kind of piling in one by one and stuff like that. So
my wife is the weird hour.
Yeah.
What mic am I using? I don't even know what the hell this is. See, that's how little Kathy does all this stuff. It's a Rode. It's one of those.
Rode Wireless, yeah.
It sounds like a pretty decent mic because it was still
Mhm.
picking up. I just realized that everybody else is still live, even though they left.
Oh yeah. Oh, we can take care of that.
Well, no, it's fine. I mean, it's just giving them, it's good for them, right?
Yeah, it's still giving them watch hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the capacities used in the comp stairs. I seem to remember like there was elevators use a capacitor.
Competition car stereo. Yeah, it's something like that. Or it's because, I mean, everyone's furnace, the fan for the furnace, everyone has a capacitor in their house, that runs their furnace, turns their fan on.
Well, those are really small. But
Yeah.
Look into elevator capacitors. I think they're giant, and that might give you the
Yeah, but then again, there's more weight. I was trying to get away from weight because it's there's so much weight on that cart.
Yeah, but I think that they can make enough power to overcome.
To overcome it.
Overcome. You just got to feed it more juice.
Yeah, feed it more juice. Vince is here. Ellie Ruiz.
I like LB. He's cool.
Yeah. Colleen, Dakota, Patrick, Barrows, Just Mopar, Joe, Junkyard D, Indirect Connection. See around. Don't shovel anymore. My wife drives up and down a gravel driveway with her minivan and flattens. Because he lives in Wisconsin, so he's talking about snow. So
I don't even get snow down there, man.
I loved Wisconsin. I spent a lot of time there back in the early 90s. I was like a home away from home. And I loved it. But the weather, man, the weather was the deal breaker. It was a deal breaker.
Oh, yeah. As soon as this time of year comes, you're just like, oh, no, headed to Florida. Got to get out of here. Yeah.
25 degrees today. It was horrible.
Is that where you are? You're up in Wisconsin?
No, I'm up in Ohio. Like
he's northern Ohio. So
Okay.
same. Yeah.
Same
Yeah,
like elevation, I guess, right in there.
We ran at Great Lakes for Memorial Day race, and there was snow flurries. And I'm like, no, this is just not right.
220-volt air compressor motor usually has two large capacitors.
Yeah. To get it going. Yeah. To kick it past the compression in the tank. Yeah.
Oh, Patrick says it's in the teens now. Yeah, it got dark out. It's probably colder.
Mm.
Oh, Bruins. Well, thank you, man. Not screwing with the engineer's design. The thing that I think most YouTubers lose sight of is the fact that the vast, and I mean the vast majority of the viewers, they're learning. They don't have experience. They don't have tools. They don't have, like tools. They don't have skills. A lot of them don't even have a place to work on their shit. And they get bombarded with next level stuff all the time by everybody. And so I try to do my videos for those people. You know what I mean? Because like there's nobody else talking to them. You know what I mean? The most they get is, will it run and drive? And then somebody's saying stupid things about spark plugs, right? And that's as far as they get.
I watched your video the other day on people putting LS rockers on small block Mopar heads.
How fucking ridiculous is that? I couldn't say it in the video.
I'm a big LS guy, and even I'm like, that is the dumbest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like, why would you do that, right? Like, wild.
It makes no sense. I know that top shelf LS motors use rockers, a rocker shaft.
Yep.
Right.
They do.
So
why would you take off a shaft?
Right. And in the meantime, so he was complaining about the stamped rockers being sloppy, but there's bushed rockers of every description you can imagine out there for the for a Mopar. Or even just okay. So you give it up some rocker ratio, but just get a freaking cam ground
Just get a bigger cam with a smaller base circle and longer push rods.
I don't get it. I don't get it. It's just some people just have too many fingers on their hands, and they just gotta make stuff.
And I'm all about like taking what you got and trying to make something better, but that seemed like a big step back. It really did. It was weird.
Well, it was pointless. It's like, what are you trying to improve? You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, I get it. It's like what you're doing now, right? You're experimenting. You're trying to do something that's like out of the box, but at the end of the day, you're going to have something that's far better than what was originally there.
Right.
You'll definitely have something that's more unique that was there. But when you're doing something like the LS Rockers on a small block Mopar, well, I mean, why? Why would you do that? It's a giant step backwards or sideways for nothing.
And plus you have to machine them to make them fit. It's not like they just there's some
It's not
adapter
like
you can just plug in and it's.
And I do know that those rockers, when you really push them, they come apart. The needle bearings come out of them.
Yeah.
I have heard that. Yeah.
So I don't know. It takes all kinds of cookies to fill the bag. As long as you're not hurting anybody, go ahead and do it. Oh, Joe, what's happening, man? Whatever happened to Mannequin Head? I gave that to DD Speed Shop when they were hanging around the shop, and I gave them the Mannequin Head and some other stuff.
So it's up in
The helmet
Canada
that she
somewhere.
was wearing.
Up in Dan's garbage somewhere in Canada.
Yes, he's got it up there someplace.
Who said that? Someone said this a little bit. Northern Ohio is pretty much Canada. Yeah, I'm right next door to the Speed Shop. Don't you know?
Dakota, how about Dodge Viper rods? How about them? What about them?
Yeah. Function as a group live and I'm out. LOL. Taking change the big legs. Okay. Bruins happy to be good parts of my truck. Apologize. Report just got drums and a single master.
Yeah, just stay on top of it. I just did a video today. It was a follow-up to the last video. Because everybody's like, in the comments, there had to be 20 people like, what about the single pot master? You know, it'll kill you. You'll die from that, right? I was like, no, you won't. No, it gives you exactly the same stopping power for you and your brake failure. Okay, so you pop a hose or you blow a wheel cylinder out. The single pot gives you the same exact initial stop or two where the pedal is going to go down, but as it's going down, it's going to apply the remaining brakes. It'll get you stopped the same exact way a dual pot will get you stopped. The only difference is maybe you'll get 2 or 3 more stops out of the dual because of the volume of fluid that's there. But by the time the reservoir is empty, you're back to nothing. So if you're going more than 20 miles an hour with the thing, you can stand on the pedals, going right to the floor and not even slow down. So it's like, does it make you feel better to change it? Well, go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's Ron Ward. When you visited, he asked about the Mannequin Head. I was told not to ask about the story of the Mannequin Head. The truth is, we were stuck in traffic right out of town here, and I saw a head laying on the side of the road, and I thought it was real. I was like, "Oh, look at that shit! Somebody cut some broad
Somebody's fucking head
off the road." So I grabbed it, and it was a Mannequin Head.
Mm.
They was calling his old satellite Dodge.
Dodge.
Jason's Garage. Thanks for joining me. Wow, thanks for having me.
Yeah, we were pretty aimless before you showed up. We were just amazed at our everybody on the live at the same time on all the channels. That's all we had to talk about.
And then because usually our lives they sometimes they'll go way off track.
Yeah.
You know, it'll just be like random, you know, UFO stories or somebody's fell out of a window or, you know, it can go any which way. And
I don't know anything about a live running off the rails.
Yeah.
I have no experience with that at all.
But that's what we'd have, you know, 5 or 6 people in the chat, and it's, you know, you get them in here, and it's.
Yeah, I've done over 600 of these things now. They can go really crazy places.
did them for a while on Monday nights like clockwork, and then I just dropped it for a while, and I'm like, well, if I'm going to come back and do it, let's put a new spin on it and try the multiverse thing and see what happens here.
It was definitely an interesting experiment, if it was nothing else,
Mm-hmm.
I think it went very well.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of it was an experience, or an experiment rather.
You're in on the experience and don't even know it. Yeah.
What's the fastest SBE?
Stock bottom end.
318 I've ever heard of. Offhand, I can't think of anything.
I know Patrick's is stock bottom end. It's a Magnum, but it's still pretty quick. Still 318.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what. If you really want to, if you go back to the day, right? People were downsizing their 340s, going with the lighter 273 rods, the steel 273 crank and the 273 rods, because they were just as strong. So, assuming now you're talking about 273 and a 318, although the 318 later used those rods, definitely over 600 horsepower out of essentially stock, low performance, small block Mopar stuff. I've never built anything like that, but
yeah, it's kind of crazy the head flow they're getting out of these aftermarket heads these days.
Yeah.
You can really make something.
And we never had, growing up, we never had any of that. We were just talking about, Tony and I were just talking about this a few days ago. How we porting was that, just grind until you get a hole and weld up and keep going. Yeah.
Wasn't Shane from Slant Daily Garage talking about the 400 CFM Gen 3 Hemi heads that they're coming out with? Like,
yeah, I don't.
That's a lot of air, man, in a cylinder head.
You got to have some serious RPM to make those things work, though, with that much volume.
It's going to be soft downstairs.
Yeah, it'd be real soft.
I don't think anybody really cares when you're at that level. It's like it don't really matter.
Right.
Yeah.
But the small block Mopar is the thing about the small block Mopar is it's unique in that it's a 4-bolt intake or a 4-bolt cylinder head.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do things on the exhaust side of the head that you can't do with a 5. And that's why you've got that beautiful port. You know what I'm saying? The exhaust port on a small block Mopar, in my opinion, is like the heart of it. You just could not get a better, straighter shot out of the cylinder, and scavenging is half the battle.
Right. That's the problem with the small block Ford heads, because they were just choke. You had to grind the roof up so high and go into the.
You see, they didn't design it that way. It wasn't intended to be that way. It just worked out that way, because in order to use the LA head on the old poly block with the 4-bolt bolt pattern, right?
Mm-hmm.
You had to raise the exhaust port. You couldn't have it down low like it would be on a small block Chevy or a Mopar, a big block Mopar.
Mm-hmm.
They had no choice but to raise the exhaust just to make that pattern work, the head bolt pattern work in that configuration. So it was like a happy accident.
Yeah, that sounds right for Patrick. Both the old parts from Rusty's. About 525 with the turbo.
Yeah. He expects them.
I do not have merch. I don't think I'm big enough for merch. So I'm just kind of.
I do. It's all. You go to my channel. It's the link, the Spring Tee link under the videos.
Well,
and mostly parts. If you buy a hat, if you buy the Hot Rod Rehab hat, the money from that goes to St. Jude's. So the profit
I
on that.
didn't know that.
Yeah, because I do a donation once a year to them anyway.
Oh.
Right? And anything on top of it.
What about a few hats?
You can still buy them.
Okay. I'll buy tomorrow. How many subs do you have?
I just hit 3,000 the other day.
Oh, you should be doing merch.
Yeah.
We started selling stickers Because people want to support you, man. People who follow you, they want to support and they want to represent. You know what I'm saying? So we started selling stickers. I don't think we had 1,000 subs yet, and we were selling stickers. And it wasn't a lot of money, but when you're trying to get this thing going, every little bit helps, and every little bit of exposure helps too. So people put their sticker on your car, and, what's that, right? And you know what I'm saying? Every little bit helps.
Yeah, I gave away hundreds of people on the lives. They would just send me their address to my Gmail. I'd send them out stickers, and they'd send me theirs, and just to get it rolling. But anyway, back to that. Yeah, because once a year, because I've done it for 20 years, I give money to St. Jude's at the end of the year. It's my one thing that makes me, not a complete, butthead. But the hats and the merch, because I sell, a handful here and there, but all the hats, they're set up to any money for that goes right to the St. Jude pile on top of what I already send them. So,
well, that's really, like I said, just sell me a few hats tomorrow.
Okay, you just gotta. There's a Spring Tea link, so you got to go to one of the videos, click on the link below the videos.
Okay.
And go to the.
Then I'll have to have Kathy do that.
Yeah. Dustin Hill took my driver's test in a 71 Satellite, drove it for 15 years with manual drum brakes, doing the stupid kid shit, and I didn't die.
I like drum brakes. It's. I'm not against disc brakes, but for the cars the type of cars that I screw around with, they work, they fit. They're lighter than the equivalent discs, unless you go to an aftermarket setup, and even then, some of the aftermarket setups are pretty heavy too. And there's no parasitic losses. So for the kind of mile an hour that I'm going to see, 110. 100, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm not going fast enough to really worry about that stuff.
So Ron, he's got a UTG self-portrait that reminds him of hieroglyphics of the early Egyptians.
Oh yeah, I got one of those. Hang on. Oh, it's stuck to the. If I take it down, it'll rip. Oh, now I get it. No. Yeah. I got one on the pegboard. We were doing all kinds of giveaways when do I have another one here? We were doing all kinds of giveaways when we started the channel. So we gave away like slices of pizza. I was shipping slices of pizza to people. I drew a drawing of myself, and signed it. So if you bought a shirt, we'd send, the autographed portrait.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, I got my phone. Yeah, I got my phone. Here, hang on. I'll take a picture of it. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, people are scared of drum brakes, but yeah, that's all some of my trucks have. And dump trucks and cement trucks and everything like that, they're all drum. None of them are disc.
Yeah, you know what? I don't mind drum brakes on the rear of the car. On the front of the vehicle, I usually like to have disc, but that's just
Can
you see that?
Very nice.
It's pretty damn good.
Yeah, I drew that. And I got a cigarette and a wrench.
Yeah.
And I signed it on the bottom. And there's a car with the hood up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we sold about 1,000 shirts and gave those away with the shirts. And it became like a collector's item. People were looking for the things.
That would almost make a good T-shirt, like just that stick figure on a T-shirt, like that. That would be that would be a decent T-shirt, really.
But yeah, we literally sent pizza through the mail.
Said he got stickers, but no pizza.
I feel like I remember that.
Yeah, we sent pizza. I think I sent noodles to somebody. We just whatever we had laying around.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Then never coffee. There's he didn't show up tonight. He's probably because he works offshore in the oil rigs, but now my brain just went dead.
Give me a hint.
Stephen Holtz.
Holtz.
His wife, we get coffee from them. You had the coffee you had when you were here the first time.
Okay.
Yeah, if you'd give away his coffee with stuff, you'd sell a million shirts because this stuff. But like, I don't even drink anything else anymore.
Well, not to brag, but I roasted coffee for a couple of
Yeah,
years.
because you had coffee shops and everything else like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got a pretty mean, Costa Rican that I can.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah,
So that's
yeah.
real. So that's real. You actually did run a coffee shop. I've heard people say that, but I thought they were like
5 of
making
them.
a joke that I didn't get.
No, 5 of them.
Really?
Yeah. When I quit nitro racing, I had no idea what to do in my life. I just had way too much, because that stuff is just all consuming. You know what I mean? Like, right? So I spent a couple of years acquainting myself with the world. You know what I mean? And then I was like, and I wanted to get away from cars cold turkey. So I just did motorcycles. I didn't touch a car. I didn't even drive a car for years. I just rode motorcycles around around the year round. And right after September 11th, the smoke was still coming out of the hole, right? It was like, and there was still, as we were setting up the first coffee house, every day there would be another funeral procession going down the street because it was all of the firemen that got killed were all from Staten Island. So anyway, make a long story short, I had the first coffee house in New York for 2 years. Then I closed it and moved down here. I had one on Memorial Boulevard. We ran that. They all last 2 years. It takes me 2 years to get tired of a business, which is crazy because YouTube is now 5 years, and this is the longest I've stuck with anything, and I just get tired of it. So I can't explain it to you. I was just like, okay, I'm done. I said, it was just okay, guys, we're closing. So yeah, I had one on Memorial. I had one on one by the college. I had one in Jackson Heights. I had one over here on St. Andrews. And we had an art gallery. Kathy had an art gallery on the square for a while. And a venue. I had a music venue.
Wow.
Oh, the venue was here?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It was called TFG. They shit you not. It was called TFG. So my coffee houses were called The Grind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I always had bands. I had open mic nights a couple of nights a week. Tuesdays and Thursdays were open mic nights. And then I always had bands playing. So it was a little crazy. It got a little crazy. So I says, you know what, we need to have, because I would have like, you got to picture a tiny coffee house, right? And I would pack, like I'd book like 6 bands and pack like 150 people into like this tiny, tiny little room where everybody was all just, crunched next to each other. So it was going really good. And I says, all right, well, we'll open a venue. So the name of the coffee house was The Grind. So we couldn't think of a name for this place. And I was just like, let's just call it The Fucking Grind. So that was it.
TFG.
The Fucking Grind. TFG. And then I just got tired of that.
Yeah. You're like, okay, it's enough. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that. It's good to like branch out and try different things,
Oh, you have to, man. You have to. Because you pick up something from every different experience that you have. And then somehow or another, mysteriously, mythically, however it works, you get to my age, and then all of these random, weird, like completely unrelated experiences all come together and form like a body of wisdom. It's hard to explain. But if you
I get it.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. That's why I have a job now. I've done 6, I've done the gamut of everything, automotive and retail and selling furniture and, name it, done it, made custom pool cues, name it, all the skills transfer eventually.
Yep.
You're land one and you're like, this guy's got all these skills. Oh, okay. He's unique, 1 of 1. Okay. Give him a job.
Well, hopefully I'm
money.
in that part of my life right now where I'm experiencing different things because I made the mistake of doing the same thing for a decade and it burnt me out. So now I'm doing this, that, and the other thing. So,
yeah, man, you got to quit before it burns you out. You got to quit before it burns you out. And it always has to be, you always got to take off a bigger bite than you can actually chew. because without the challenge of it, and that's why I would lose money. I wouldn't lose money. That's why I would lose interest in the coffee houses, because you open a business, and it's like, is it going to work? And you throw all of this shit at it, right?
Right.
And then it clicks and it works, and it's like
The challenge is
done. You know what I mean? It's like done. There's no more challenge here, and that's when I lose interest, when the challenge is gone. There's still a challenge with YouTube. No, not really. I don't know. It just works.
That's good
It's
advice.
good payday and nobody has to die. Yeah.
You got to have fun, and like I said, man, it's like the most random things, and you'll remember a conversation you had about physics with. I could tell coffee house stories because it was a 7-night-a-week thing. Because I do my day gig, I was working on cars or doing whatever I was doing, and then my night gig was the coffee houses. So I had the most eclectic group of people that came through there. I mean, just literal homeless and scientists and everything in the middle, everything in between. And it's like you get into these crazy deep conversations with these people at 2:00 in the morning, and it's like little things will stick in your head, and then 15 years later, here you are doing YouTube and you're doing a video about something, and all of a sudden a bit of conversation that you had with this guy, this random conversation, the highly caffeinated talk, pops into your head, and it's like, oh wait, this makes sense. I need to explain it this way, or they're not going to understand it that way. And that might be why my channel works.
Hey Doc, does this functional histories guy, is he the one that does the Hot Wheel replicas?
I don't know, but I think you're going up the right tree. Yes.
I think that. So okay, highlight this comment. It's up a little bit, but Uncle Tony, let's see, what does it say? He wants to know if you'd be interested in doing a reproduction of Bottle Rocket Slaghammer as a Hot Wheel car.
I've already got Bottle Rocket, and Slaghammer is. So we've already got them. We've already got them.
Now, are those just like somebody sent you those one off, or
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
A fellow named KJ Kiley. I don't know how he found my address. Well, I guess anybody could find my address. But yeah, he made those and sent them.
Well, I think he does like the little tiny like Hot Wheel cars.
Yeah, it's the 164th. Yeah,
Yeah.
smaller than those. He like sellable merch, like 100,000 copies of Slaghammer.
Oh no, we don't do anything like that. We don't. So we have like a policy that we don't like. You won't find any of our cars or anything like that on any of our shirts or anything. I just have this thing. I don't like the merchandise. I can't really explain it to you. It's hard to explain.
You just don't want to.
It's kind of like it's like a self-ingrained. We like to just sell generic merch. I don't even know what I'm wearing right now. What am I wearing?
Yeah,
I hate cars.
Yeah, I'll sell stuff like that.
I don't think he does that many, Doc. I think he used to something like a one of for Uncle Tony.
Oh no, I appreciate the thought, my brother. Thank you very much. I mean, and I honestly do appreciate the thought. But we're good, man. Thank you. It'll just end up sitting collecting dust. I'm trying to get rid of stuff. I mean, honestly, I'm trying to declutter. I'm trying to get rid of things. I want the end part of my life to be as simple and as uncluttered as possible. So yeah, thank you. I appreciate the thought, but we're good.
I think he might have did one of Jezebel. Scott Speed Shop.
Did he for Jed?
I think he might have been the guy that did it for Jed. I could be wrong.
Yeah. Do you know about that Scott Speed Shop at all, Tony? You'd see his stuff at all? Yeah.
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 not self gratification. Yourself again. Yeah, I can't think of a fucking word. Aggrandizement. I can't think of the word.
When I get a car that's actually worthy of having someone make I'll hit you up, brother. But until then, I don't want you putting dents in a Ranger Hot Wheels truck. Okay, I'm good.
You know, I'll give you grace if you want to make a little Ranger with a black stripe down the hood, and no problem.
He did do Jezebel. All right, cool. See,
Mm.
I'm up on it sometimes. I know what I'm talking about.
To a fault, Colleen.
Yeah.
Literally to a fault. I don't hold anything back.
Yeah. Well, we still got 40 people in the chat, which is, it's actually
That's
very
a lot.
low.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah, for us, it's a lot.
Yeah, that's that's a bad
But
night.
it's all in perspective. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
You're doing great.
Mhm.
Put it in perspective. Excuse me. Put it in perspective, right? There's how many automotive YouTubers out there?
Quite a few.
Okay, you couldn't count them. You couldn't count them. They're all over the fucking world, right? There's tens of thousands of them, right? How many of them actually have, anything more than 3 subs, or like it's. You see what I'm saying? 8 subs, 12 subs, right? So you guys are doing fantastic. I don't think you realize, how good you're doing.
Well, I just try to make videos about things that I would be doing anyway.
Yes.
Because like I said, I really do enjoy working on my stuff and tinkering with it. And if other people see value in that and get entertained, more power to them.
Well, everybody has a different, perspective on that stuff. The kind of content that you do. I don't really like to feature my own cars or what I can explain it to you. I don't like a camera on me when I'm working.
I've noticed that.
Right? It's like do you want to watch me wash my feet too? You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I'm saying? And so I
100%.
So I try to, and actually, Peg was one of those ones. When I first started doing this channel, I did some hands-on stuff, right? And Peg was like, he was like, there were these gay guys that because that's why he wasn't show his face, because he was getting hit on by,
he's afraid of his public.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, you know what? There's something to that, right? And then we did that cold start thing. I had no idea. Okay. So when we first started the channel, there was this big thing about cold starts. Everybody was starting up cars cold, right?
No.
Mm.
I totally don't fucking get it, right? But I'm looking at the views that they're getting, right? And they're getting huge views, right? So I said, very fine, we'll do that. So one morning I went around and I started everything that was on the property, including my lawnmower, right? So we ran it. And then I found out, the day that we sent it, I found out that it's actually this weird fetish. I know you're right. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. I see the look. I see the look on his face. It's a fetish thing, but it was too late. I couldn't take it back. You know what I mean? So we just sent it, but I stayed away from doing that. From that point on.
But I get what you mean. I get what you mean about not. I don't like working on camera either. I just like doing it because, first of all, if you stop the film when you're doing something, it takes forever. You don't get nothing done. So that's part of the reason. I just like doing it and then showing my results.
Exactly.
I feel like that's better.
So okay, I want anybody who watches one of my videos to get something from it. Okay, so if you're learning, you'll pick up some kind of technical expertise or technical knowledge. If you're experienced, you'll get maybe an alternative opinion to the one that you have, right? Or maybe you just get pissed off at me. It doesn't make any difference. You got something out of the video, right? So there's that value there. There is no value in watching somebody turn a wrench, right? Or hit an impact gun, right? Unless it's a tutorial.
Right.
And it bothers me when I see YouTubers do that because I know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You're just fucking stretching. You've got 3 minutes of content that you're going to turn into a 45-minute epic, right? So there's the camera goes on the dashboard of the car and you're going down the road, and it's like it's filler. It's just fucking filler, right? If you've only got 3 minutes worth of content, make a goddamn 3-minute video and move on, right?
No.
So I view all of that stuff where people are like, you know,
I'm guilty.
Like the only time I want to see someone work on their car is like DD Speed Shop when like he's fitting the panels and he's showing you this and he's showing you that, you know. And
Well, he's showing you a skill, yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
showing you something that takes skill. It's a skill to learn. It's not okay. I'm tightening this bolt. Okay,
I agree.
You know.
I agree. There are exceptions. I'm not saying across the board. There are exceptions. He is an exception. He does an excellent video.
Yes.
Yep, watching someone black sand for hours is painful as actually block sanding for hours.
No, nothing's as painful as actually block sanding.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
But I find myself all of these videos. I find myself now just fast forwarding. You know, I'll watch the first 3 minutes of it, 4 minutes of it. I go, here's the setup. Here's what it is, and then I know that there's going to be absolutely nothing between there and the last 3 minutes.
in the last 2 minutes, yeah.
Right. You know what I mean? So it's like whoop, you go right to the end. There's the punchline, and then move on.
And that's what it like. Sleeper Dude, Vice Grip, kind of all the middle stuff. Which, and you know, they have people that love it and will watch every minute of it. But I like you said, I can't.
Vice Grip makes it just entertaining enough to watch. Like he does. He really.
Who's that?
Vice Grip
Derek.
Garage. He makes it funny enough, you know, because you're really watching his character, you know.
I got tired of his character about 4 years ago.
No, it is starting to wane a little
Yeah.
bit. So.
But it's a weird business, and everybody approaches it from a different perspective. You know, there was a guy I don't know if you remember, maybe like 6 years ago, 7 years ago. It was this guy. He was on Facebook. He was on Facebook a lot. This is when Facebook was in its glory days. It was kind of like competing with YouTube a little bit, and it was he was a mechanic, and he came up with this catchline and a catchphrase. I can't remember what the fuck it was, but it works. Do you know what I'm talking about? Art.
Maybe.
It's become obscure now, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, this guy was a mechanic, okay, and he was filming himself doing stuff, and every once in a while he would throw in this phrase, and people evidently loved it. So then he started making videos just based around this phrase, and he was getting huge fucking views, right? Like, so then he starts doing merch, and he's got T-shirts, and he's got hats, and he's got cups and mugs, all with this phrase. And he was huge. And then all of a sudden, boom. Who's this? He used to be fucking hilarious. Came right before the break. Love the guy. Oh, you're talking about him. Yeah.
Mm.
But what I'm saying is it's like you can't keep doing a character. You know what I'm saying? You can't keep doing a character. I couldn't wake up every morning and be a character. Like I have to be you know what I mean? If I can't be me and just be me the way I am, I don't want to do that.
It's kind of like how Larry the Cable Guy was huge for like
Similar
that
to
one
that.
whole period of time, and then he just kind of went away. You know, the
But
character
it
got
helps. The guy's phrase was, but it helps. You don't have to blah, 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 but it helps.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you don't have to put gas in it, but it helps. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was exactly that's it. That's it.
Mhm.
And he just jumped the shark. You know what I mean? It's like you can only take something like that so far, you know, a condensed version of it so far. So I look at a lot of these guys who do a character, an ongoing character, and it's like it's just a matter of time before you jump the shark.
Mm-hmm.
If people don't love you or like you for who you are, then you don't really have anything.
Right. Well, Ken, it's the 3 hour mark.
It
Is it really?
is-
I think we've done it. I think we've done our job for tonight.
I think we have. It was a very
Even
good.
though we got 40 people in here, which for us is, like I said, is good. we're gonna call it at the 3-hour mark, and we're gonna go to bed because I actually have to go be a big boy and drive into work tomorrow and do all that kind of stuff. So
Lucky me, no work tomorrow. So
I work every day. But it was great. Ken, very nice meeting you.
it was nice talking to you, Tony.
I'm going to check out the very, very interesting shit. I'm going to catch up on what you're doing on your channel there. Art, I'm going to buy some hats.
well, thank you.
You know, and
Yeah, no obligation, but yeah, if you do, great. That'd be awesome.
all right. Well, everybody in the chat. Nice seeing
Yeah,
you guys.
thanks everybody. Thanks for all that came on tonight. Thanks everybody in the chat, and
And Art, thank
see
you for
you.
having me.
we'll see you next Monday.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit the button and get out. Good night,
See ya.
guys.
All right, thanks, Tony.